I'm not talking. Hello, hello, hello. Check, check, check. Let me turn myself up here. I'm also eating right now, and I do not want my eating to come through the microphone. Please understand. Also, hello, Irma. Also eating right now, and I do not want my eating to come through the microphone. Please understand. Also, hello, Irma. Check, check, check. What do you guys think of what I am saying right now? Check, check, check. What do you guys think of what I am saying right now? Alright, I've raised my audio input to 75%. How does this sound? I may have to lower that. Alright, I've raised my audio input to 75%. How does this sound? I may have to lower that. Okay, so voice is good. I'm going up 5 decibels on the game. See how that clears. Okay, so voice is good. I'm going up 5 decibels on the game. See how that clears. Oh no, my keyboard comes through the microphone. Oh no, my keyboard comes through the microphone. How does this sound? I just canceled one audio channel. Is there still looping? How does this sound? I just canceled one audio channel. Is there still looping? Testing. I may have duplicated audio channels without knowing it. Testing. I may have duplicated audio channels without knowing it. Check, check, check. Alright, I think I have it set up, just how does the game and my microphone sound here? I think I'm in the clear. In the interest of not delaying this forever, and I'm not going to read the entire event in one go, I may just read a little bit here. I'm just going to start now instead of finagling with audio and video forever. Also enjoy my narration voice, I might as well try and narrate something. Although it has only been a few hours since Basti returned to the Elmo, the aerial beacon she and Bugs brought has already started serving the network for the Elmo and the doll community. The happiest person might be Dandelion. To build an untraceable path from the Elmo to the outside world, she spends a lot of computing power every hour. Now she is finally relieved a lot, and I can contact others more freely. More importantly, with the beacon cruising at high altitude, locations originally shown as blind spots on the map began to light up with symbols indicating stable communication, which also significantly expand the operational range of each squad. How did that come through? I may turn up the game audio as well, because it's kind of low even on my end here with the music. Alright, back to it then. Seems good. As more and more areas light up, the feeling of control over intelligence gradually returns to my hands. I'm gonna answer these questions just real quick. That said, I guess I should add real quickly, I can't promise what sort of minor spoilers or maybe major spoilers pop up. However, I have heard... I do not know exactly when in the timeline Liu's event takes place. However, I know it's post-Dawn Forger, but I don't know if it's a significant spoiler. I'm more open to spoilers, but I am making that as a somewhat of a warning. However, from what I've heard, it's not egregious. Carrying on. Basti, the former Griffin T-Doll Mark 23, who made this contribution, was currently sitting on my lap with a triumphant expression. I couldn't neglect her either. I had been singing her praises since earlier until my mouth went dry. What did he mean by that? Although Macchiato and Helen weren't very satisfied, Mei-Ling and everyone in the doll community praised this favor highly. So everyone let Basti act coquettishly towards me. How about it, darling? Do you like this gift? I don't know why I made her British. Yes, it has not only solved the signal interference problem, but has also increased the communication range by over 70%, which is a huge help for missions in the Yellow Zone. Also for reference, yes, Liu's event follows, as far as I know, directly on the end of Basti's. I have not read Dawn Forger. I'm slightly behind on CN. I would have read Dawn Forger, but you can't read it yet because Mika is funny like that. With the collaboration of the Beacon Network, our future operation planning will be much easier. Also, if the game audio needs to be raised, because it's kind of low on my end, but it could be fine for you guys, I can do so. With the collaboration of the Beacon Network, our future operational planning will be much easier. Thank you for our hard work, Basti. After all, it's for Darling. This small matter is nothing. Other cooperation with the Chainlink Group is growing as well. Miss Lydia sent a generously priced order, entrusting us with the escort work for the construction of beacon base stations deep in the Yellow Zone. This is also Basti's credit, right? Ah, that woman! I told her not to contact Darling. But never mind. I'm so magnanimous. Darling, go ahead and discuss business with her, but be careful. She's a profiteer. I don't necessarily know why I'm imparting or impressing a British accent upon Basti. That's not intentional. It's just how I'm projecting this voice. The situation in Silicaport is not stable. You may need to go back recently to act as our local contact until Miss Lydia quietly compels the hidden dangers in Silicaport. Also, I raised the audio just slightly on the game. Hopefully it'll come through a bit better. The music is kind of quiet. I know, negotiating business on behalf of Darling, who can't show up personally, feels very much like being the lady of the house. I'm fully motivated. However, isn't Phelan still in Silicaport? Also, Phelan, Furin, Furina, Fulin, however her name is spelled or said, that's G41, for those who do not know. Zoe said Phelan left with Dushevnaya and the others. I'm just gonna pronounce it as it is in like the machine translation in the mod. However, this name is not final, just heads up. With KSVK and the others? Yeah, they took a barter commission on the trading site. They said they wanted to carry out the original purpose for which Dushevnaya and Fetusa left the community, without permission, to bring back a batch of doll frames. I was wondering why Darling would send those two to buy things. So that's why. I'll contact Zoe later. Just as Basti was lost in thought, Sakura, who had just moved her luggage into the Elmo, also walked in. For reference, because this is kind of relevant to Ian, Sakura joined the Elmo right at the start of Basti's event, if I recall correctly. Upon seeing me, Sakura's expression became bright and brilliant. She ran over happily, but was glared at by Basti like a bristling cat. Too close! Too close! Don't get close to Darling! Why? Commander? Basti is being mean to me! I don't even know what sort of voice to give to Sakura. How can my voice impart on something this dorky, this baka Sakura? Stop it, Basti. Good work, Sakura. Have you settled in? Great. For today on, I am also a member of the Elmo. It's just that there's too much work usually. I don't have enough time to stay by the commander's side. I don't know if that's the right onomatopoeia to make there. Even so, I won't give Darling to you. At most, I'll let you sit here. Consider it my mercy. That's not enough. I work hard for the commander, and I want to be praised too. But now I can deliver goods. I'm not qualified to be praised. You found your own path and walked it diligently, and received recognition from those you helped. That's already amazing. The Elmo will be your backing, and we will also need your help. Welcome back, Sakura. Commander! Stop! Don't come any closer. How could this be? Yeah. You're not getting the whoa sounds out of me. After making a fuss for a while, I patted Sakura's head and fed Basti some snacks, finally quieting them down both. By the way, Sakura, if you pass by Silicaport next time, take Basti along with you. Having someone along other than Senpai to talk to isn't so bad. But is Basti going to Silicaport? I thought you were going to find G41 and the others. She's called Phelan now. We've been partners for so many years. Being apart for a few days won't hurt. Do you know where Phelan and the others went? Isn't it Whistling Cliff Town? Also, that's Liu's town that she runs. It's kind of an early spoiler, but there you go. If we're on the right road, we should be arriving soon. Whistling Cliff Town? What's that place? Let me explain, Commander. Seemingly happy to have a chance to show off, Sakura sat next to me, carefully took out her delivery tablet from behind, and looked at me with a smile, wanting to explain. Basti grunted unhappily, but soon leaned over, watching Sakura tap the screen and focus on the map on a mountainous area with complex terrain. This is a settlement town built on a mountain road in the Yellow Zone, which often hosts open markets. Although it may not be much compared to large settlements like Silicaport or Mokosh, I think that's how you pronounce it. You'll learn about this later. It's quite popular among the local residents and merchants. Trading in such a remote place carries high risks. Even with boosted signal, if an emergency occurs, all support will have difficulty arriving in time. Phelan will be fine, darling. Over the years, she survived alone in the Yellow Zone for a long time and overcome many challenges. Those that have read that one doll story note knows what she means. Although it's not very rigorous to call a doll like that, this, Phelan has a strange intuition and is very sensitive to danger and suspicious details. As for lies, even if she can't find the problem, she seems to have her own way to see through them. If you're still worried, I'll contact her regularly to check the situation. After all, she waited for Darling with me for so long. That's a good idea, Sakura. How is the security situation around Whistling Cliff Town? There we go. I haven't been there either because it's a relatively remote area. But according to the company manual, that place was originally a mountain village abandoned due to forced relocation. It was rebuilt by refugees in recent years. I assume she's still working with the company, or at least working in tandem with them. The road conditions in the mountains are poor, and we might encounter collapse storms and roaming bandits. Also, while I'm just quickly mentioning, if anyone has any lore questions while I'm just kind of reading, feel free to ask. Also, there seems to be a power struggle there. Power struggles are everywhere. Is it serious? How did the conflict arise? It hasn't reached a life or death situation yet, but it's a situation that requires attention. The data isn't very detailed. It only says that the conflicting parties are underground brokers and a cavalry unit? They're fighting for the management and maintenance rights of the roads around the town, and it seems there are also toll fees involved. The world can be in total collapse and ruin, and we're still fighting over taxation and roads. Charging money for the road sounds like neither side is any good. I feel like KSVK and the others are going to get into a fight again. Sakura smiled bitterly, seemingly not quite agreeing with Basti's words. At least for those two who are always on the move and have no armed protection. Safe passage is worth paying for. That's why PMCs exist. By the way, regarding that cavalry unit, there are some interesting rumors. It is said that their leader is a doll. And although everyone has mixed views about this doll, there's one consistent characteristic. That is... it's over. Also, give me just a second.
Mic off. Mic on. Mic off. Mic on.
Oh, okay, I'm back. Sorry, I do not want this to become a mukbang stream. On the outskirts of the Yellow Zone, the truck driven by Dushevnaya was struggling to advance, on the mountain road covered with rubble. The strong wind picked up coarse dust, sending the windows like sandpaper, making a rustling sound. Looking out the window, steep rock walls lined both sides of the road, and withered yellow vegetation trembled in the wind, as if warning passing travelers. So touching, truly touching. Yo, it's everyone's favorite, Go Wild. Fetusa excitedly pressed against the car window, her pen scribbling non-stop in her diary. I could just imagine, like, This is a really stupid and niche reference, but that one scene of SpongeBob's pressing his entire face against the glass. 5:15 p.m. We drove into the mountain road in the yellow zone. Although the rock strata has been severely eroded by collapse radiation, it is still recognizable as traces left by humans excavating tunnels nearly a century ago. Clearly this is a Hatsukiri reference. She's coming soon in the next event. They told me. Without the support of heavy machinery, using ancient tools and only baskets to transport soil and rocks, they opened up that road that vehicles can pass through today. It's truly amazing. Fetusa. I don't know what kind of voice to give Scavenger. Fetusa is the nicest girl in the world, meanwhile Scavenger is like, would kill a human in a heartbeat. That's all I'm gonna say. Fetusa, that's enough. What serious doll writes a diary in a notebook? And what strategic value do these records have? What's the use of these records? Liushih, you don't understand. So, quick reference, lore reference. So, Liushih could also be translated in, well, it's pronounced in Japanese, in the Japanese dub, as Kuro, meaning black. However, I'm not sure how this is going to be localized into the English version. Because her name is Scavenger, that's the SF model. Like, I'm not getting too many spoilers here, just briefly. This is Scavenger, however, Fetusa calls her Kuro Liushih. Liushih is just the MTL machine translation here, on a play of Nyx, like goddess of the night. Even after so much time, you can still feel the determination of humans to transform nature back then. This is a manifestation of the strength of human willpower. Everyone must think so too, right, Phalion? Hey God, let's go! Everyone look. It's Lagoob. No. I've never thought about such things from this perspective. Think about it carefully. What Fetusa said makes a lot of sense. Are you serious? Looking at Phalion with eyes pricked up, Scavenger couldn't help but fall into despair. Isn't one idiot worshipping humans enough? Why another one? Clearly only the commander is an exception. Humans themselves are nothing special. There you go. Everyone go crazy for Lagoob. Hey, Dushevnaya, how much longer until we... Hey, Dushevnaya, how much longer do we have to drive? Let me off quickly. I don't know how I can voice Dorkshevnaya. Dushevnaya, sitting in the driver's seat, turned her head in response. Oh, War Master, I have heard your anger and your unwillingness. These rugged roads allow for no distraction. How far is it to the destination? Since the contract of fate has been signed, the hero will definitely deliver the promised item to the other shore. Don't worry, War Master. We will definitely complete the mission soon. I've had enough of this conversation. You talk about the mission and all, but you act like you're here for sightseeing. Scavenger impatiently grabbed the navigation device and checked the information on it. It shows that there are over 20 kilometers left. But because of the road conditions are so bad, it'll take at least a few more hours. That's longer than we expected. However, considering these mountain roads and collapse storms, it is indeed... I'm not going to use that voice. However, considering the mountain roads and collapse storms, it is indeed better to be careful. Dushevnaya, do you want me to drive for a while? Better not. Phalion needs to learn where the brake is before touching the steering wheel. I actually think Phalion is forklift certified and could probably do the Nürburgring with her eyes closed. Just saying. Seriously? I was against taking this strange commission from the start. What's the point of transporting equipment as old as Fetusa? point of transporting equipment as old as Fetusa? That's hurtful. Nixie herself is an antique too, right? Well, maybe that's exactly why she was acquired. I heard from Basti before that rich people like collecting this kind of stuff. What's that word called? Sentiment? Yes, it's sentiment. Fetusa really understands humans. If this server stores precious data from the old era, its value cannot be measured in money. Human emotions are always entrusted to these seemingly useless carriers. Also, hello Kuruko, and hello everyone else. The meaning of tools lies in utility and efficiency. Things like this. Huh? Scavenger, who had put her hand on the surface of the server, was just about to emphasize her point, suddenly fell silent. As her attention focused on that server, Fetusa felt a strange emotion welling up in her frame. She co-inhabited. It seemed to be a sense of familiarity. Yeah, if you don't want spoilers, as far as I know, I can't say if there's major spoilers in this or not, but if you want to stay here and watch and listen, you can. However, thank you for watching. Also, I have to work on my speaking tempo a bit so I don't get so winded between lines. Also, noticing Scavenger's strange state, Folian couldn't help but slow down her tone slightly. Anyway, as long as we can complete the transaction in exchange for the doll frames everyone wants, we're helping the master, right? And looking at it another way, at least this cargo won't attract any unwanted attention. That's foreboding. Shut up. Okay, I think we need to scrap this doll, just saying. Did you just say something? I said, shut your jinx mouth, that curve ahead isn't right. Chill out. Dushev Naya, stop the car. Oh! As Dushev Naya pulled the handbrake, the truck's front veered, and the locked tires drifted sideways into the mountain road for a distance. Dushev Naya immediately opened the door, stomped her reinforced right foot onto the ground, and accelerated the braking process amidst a shower of sparks. Scavenger and Phalian run. Phalian? I've already said the name multiple times, but I think I'm gonna pronounce it Phelan. Quickly scrambled out, weapons already in hand. A sizable firefight was taking place ahead. One side was flanked with mobile units, while the other used several heavy trucks unique to the Yellow Zone as cover, maintaining a defensive circle with discipline, waiting for an opening. Varjägers? So the ones being attacked are black market merchants? Pretend we didn't see anything. None of our business. Nixie, innocent people are being attacked. As the commander's dolls, we can't just ignore it. Give it a rest. Along the way, you've been giving rides everywhere, eliminating ELIDs for free, and even gave away the rewards from Silica Port to homeless people. Dang! Orid said if we don't go back soon, we'll be buried in the tomato field as fertilizer. I think she meant for us to collect and make fertilizer, not use us as. After all, your frame is useless for crop growth. Aww. It's too late, even if you don't want to, Nixie. Dushev Naya just rushed out and shouted something about the community, for the War Master. I'm not even gonna try to scream. Okay. I think I'm gonna, well, I'm obviously gonna play with Liu just to demonstrate the point, but, in the interest of not making this an absolute steamroll, yeah, I'll just go with the Hydro team for now. Like, we're here for the story, not necessarily the gameplay in many such cases. Okay, playing on ×2. now you guys get to watch me just click buttons for the next 5 minutes. Sure. Yeah. I'm not necessarily doing this for hard mode, I'm just trying to do this for the story. Otherwise, if I was streaming heroic mode, we'd be here for the next like 8 hours, and I don't intend to stream that long. I'm probably not even going to stream the whole event here, so just enough where I feel good. I'll just get the kill on the sniper. Yeah, it's not exactly a game totally conducive to streaming, admittedly. That said, you guys will get to see Liu if you are not playing CN. Here, I'll go back to 1x speed just so you can demonstrate this. She can do fun stuff like this. Yeah, I know, level 30 enemies. I guess one complaint I'll have, like, I think everyone knows, with gameplay-wise for complaints, if they were intent on raising the difficulty, they would have already. Like, why are character events not scaled to your level? Sorry, that's ignoring that. Just gotta quickly add that. But there you go, yeah. Liu can teleport with Pegasus, that's the name of Warhorse here. There you go. Cool little fella. I forget exactly what her V1 skill is, but she has a similar extra movement like to Lolo, and then she can extra attack again. So, actually pretty good. Her basic attacks also do hydro damage, which I think besides parry, I don't know who else does elemental basic attacks. I'll just get the kill on the medic. Also, I pulled on Niketa because I know what freaks you are. I'm one of you. I am just suddenly getting some bitrate issues all of a sudden, so forgive me if it starts lagging. It's been very stable thus far. It may just be gameplay that's worse for streaming, I don't know. Under the offensive of Dushevnaya's group, the Variegers quickly scrambled and retreated back into their vehicles. The other group in the battle looked on in bewilderment at Scavenger, who was attacked like a berserker for some reason, and then shook Dushevnaya by the neck after it was over. Okay, bit rate's back to normal, so it should be more stable. I think maybe it was gameplay that was screwing up or something. Too much strain on the system, I don't know. Then shook Dushevnaya by the neck after it was already over. You prayed for URNC internet hours after your prepaid URNC internet hours are expiring. Yep. The other group in the battle looked on in bewilderment at Scavenger, who acted like a berserker for some reason, and then shook Dushevnaya by the neck as it was over. And Phelan, who was already sighing on the side of the road, until a young man who looked like a leader told the others to holster their weapons and approach the three dolls himself. Oh, it's this guy. This is the NPC that looks like Shiki-Khan himself. Hard look. This might as well be Shiki-Khan in another world line as far as I'm concerned.
Mic off. Mic on.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, if I suddenly go silent for like 10 seconds, I'm eating something. This is not going to be the ASMR food stream. Anyways, back to it. In the Yellow Zone, presumptuously called someone else's actions goodwill is quite dangerous. But however I look at it, your actions were a rescue for us. May I ask you which faction you three dolls belong to? For those who were slightly missing, this was one of the black market merchants, at least seemingly, who were under attack by the Varjägers in the previous sequence. You're welcome. The hero is everyone's friend, following the guidance of our leader, the commander, and active in the order to create a peaceful world. I really like voicing Dushev Naya's. I see. That makes sense. Lord Hero must be unable to ignore those in need, which is why you stepped forth. You could communicate with Dushev Naya upon first meeting? Wait a minute, what? That line just clicked there. Alright, we have a Dushev Naya translator just as we have a Krolik, Bunny, and Nemesis. Meaningless dialogue has increased. Exactly. I see. According to the tropes, I should give everything I have to thank to the hero for saving me. However, I'm afraid you meddled unnecessarily this time. This man's belief in God here has allowed him to translate Dushev Naya's ramblings. Even without the support of the hero adults, we could have won in that situation just now. Huh? You guy, just obediently say thank you and take the reward. Why are you acting so tough here? Trying to welch on the debt? What? War Master, calm down. We didn't say what we wanted. We didn't say we wanted payment anyways. I'm just spitting facts. Stating facts. My mind just inserted spitting in there. After the young man finished speaking, the young change in the situation made the dolls turn their heads. On the surrounding high ground, large numbers of combat mechanical bodies had appeared at some point, forming a semi-encirclement. The red lights flashing from their visual modules were clearly visible in the sunlight. Are these our combat weapons? When did they get here? Was it a deployment made when the battle with the Varjäger started? Interesting. It looks like you want us to talk with force, right? I said, I'm just following the facts, so... It's also a fact that you helped us. Without your containment, although my people could have won, it wouldn't have been without casualties. After all, the deployment speed just now was slower than I expected. In other words, without your intervention, in 90% of cases, I may have suffered around 3 casualties. 5 people. According to my calculations, your people lack sufficient training. The combined probability of error during defense, depending on the position, exceeds 100%. The most likely outcome is that 5 people will die, and another 3 will suffer minor injuries. You read people really well. My name is MHD just left. I don't know how to pronounce this. Paweł? I'm a merchant in the Whistling Cliff Town. We already have a Paweł, too. I'm a merchant in the Whistling Cliff Town. I also work part-time as a military contractor. Here's the remuneration for saving 8 people. Please count it. After Paweł, I'm just gonna say Paweł, made a gesture. A subordinate following him placed a bag of collapse pieces at the Scavenger's feet. The doll kicked it lightly into the air with her toe, caught it, and checked the weight of the bag. They really had to accentuate the feat, you know? Then we're even. Let's go. Wait, you haven't even answered my initial question. 3 tactical dolls, one of which is a Sangvis Ferry model. That's uncommon even in the Yellow Zone. You know about Sangvis Ferry, so your identity isn't simple either, is it? Of course. As long as you can answer my question, I can answer yours. Unless your identities are some sort of secret. Liushih, the commander is a wanted person after all. Don't go exposing him here and there. Also, forgive me if I just kind of randomly insert words that aren't there. My voice is moving faster than my head at times here. 2, 2, 2, 2. Huh? Tomato Emperor? Shut up! I said we were the women who follow the Tomato Emperor. No, warriors. What's with that look? I'll kill you. Do you have a problem with that? Seeing Scavenger suddenly fly into a rage, Paweł and his subordinates stumbled back in fright. Phelan and Dushevnaya held her back firmly, preventing a conflict. Didn't you bring it up yourself? Tomato Emperor? Tomato King? Well, they're really running this joke, are they? I guess, I don't know if this is something they had in mind as a recurring joke from Anti-Parallel onwards, or if they just saw the positive reception of that joke and just inserted it into the script. Anyways, could it be Ruthless character rumored to have banished Mokosh's first leader? You all work for that person? That's right, a super ruthless character. No, you get it. Don't look down on him or us just because of the tomato. Liushih, calm down. He didn't look down on us. This is a psychological issue you need to overcome yourself. I see. So what are you doing here? Looking for the next town to overthrow? Whistling Cliff Town certainly has potential. I'd be interested in having a good talk with the Tomato King to start a mutually beneficial cooperation. I've not read Dawn Forger, so some of the Tomato King and Mokosh jokes go over my head, but I know the general spark notes. I would have read it already if it was in the game, but what can you do? It is not. The hero is on a glorious mission to help the commander while tempering herself. Actually, I'm here to deliver goods from Silica Port. G41 really appeals to that. I just work here energy. Silica Port? Who's the recipient? Never mind. I have to ask anyways. Mr. Smolin? I am Smolin. Whoa, does that mean you happen to have a lot of doll frames? I do, Paweł says. Paweł Smolin. So you were a trading partner, the client for this time? Then you should be able to show proof, right? Hey, don't blame me for lore skipping. I did not feel good in December. That's also entirely my fault because I had all the time in the world to read then, probably. Let me think. Is this correct? That's a joke. Please don't get angry at that or get sad at that. Paweł took out his personal frame and sent a confirmation message to Phelan. It's actually true. What a coincidence. Now we have something to talk about. Let's go. Let's go ahead and chat in my place. There you go. Here's some blue thing content for everyone. Whoops. There you go. Oh yeah, refresh. Yeah, it's daily refresh. Okay, back to it then. No! Why are you kicking us out of our home? We didn't do anything wrong. Mom! Dad! What are you doing? Let go of my mom and dad! Stop it, child. Your parents have been identified as anti-URNC elements guilty of corruption and dereliction of duty. Their illicit gains to date, including your housing and assets, must be seized. Seeing as he didn't directly participate in military actions, as long as he serves a sentence honestly for a few decades, man's gonna be dead by the end of that sentence. He can still come out. Let him bear his responsibility like a man. My mom and dad didn't betray the URNC. Our family wouldn't steal. Dad is an amazing technical expert. He's the person that General Carter praised. That's the problem, kid. You got it wrong. You got it wrong! Whether there's a mistake will be decided by military court. But judging from recent physical and witness evidence, the accusations that your parents fabricated multiple projects and embezzled huge research funds have been unanimously judged as true. Paweł, take care. Live well. Together with. It's only been 10 years. That guy looks a bit older than that kid would look like in 10 years. I'm sorry. Do you know the Dolls of Griffin? I might. Of... Just as Liushih was about to speak, Scavenger covered her mouth. You know I'm Sangvis Fairy, right? To me, Griffin is an eternal nemesis. Best not mention that name in my presence again. Excuse my rudeness. Alright, the destination is just ahead. This is where I usually trade with people. So Liushih drove the truck, while Phelan and Scavenger stood on by the roof, following the merchant's convoy into the mountains. I guess I should quickly add, I kind of like the introduction to this event so far. I don't have much to say in terms of review because it's still very early, but I like how this is being introduced. A small but well-equipped rest stop appeared in front of them. 2 huge cargo containers had already been placed here. Liushih nervously opened the container doors, marveling at the visual impact of the neat rows of doll frames, then checked the condition of the 2 frames inside. They might be a bit old, but they are military grade. Most parts are brand new, but I can guarantee the performance. I'll do the inspection. It'll take some time. Need to connect to Miss Mei Ling from here. After Phelan dragged the server off the truck, 2 technicians from Pawe's side came out to inspect it. Yeah, just Irma mentions it. I do think Deep Oblivion onwards is when I truly begin to seriously enjoy the stories. Albeit, a feeling certainly good, but Dio is what really dragged me into GFL 2's story so far, and a lot of the character events are solid from there on. Although it took several hours in the end. Well, really, I'd say, like, Nikeda's was, like, the true launching point, because that was pre-Deep Oblivion. Anyways, although it took several hours in the end, Liushih and Paweł shook hands. There are no problems on our side anymore. Say hello to the Tomato King for me. The commander will be happy too. Mission accomplished. Can I go back and see Master now? I'm so nervous. Alright. Actually, I have one more thing to trade with you. Take a look. Paweł idly opened a set of obviously heavily defended boxes, inside of which lay a frame that was clearly a custom model. Scavenger eyes widened suddenly. Liushih, this is a Sangvis Fairy Elite model frame. Good eye. I got this when I acquired mobile weapons before. I've only seen it once. How much? There's a priceless limited edition, at least in the current world. However, I want to make friends with that famous person, your commander. And since you already helped me a lot, as a symbol of friendship, I can offer a friendly price. I won't make any promises. You don't need to. In human society, there are such things as diplomatic gifts. In addition, I hope you can do a small favor. To be precise, I need the help of this Sangvis Fairy doll lady. Small favor? The server is in the master control module of a military armament production line, and I possess the key to the corresponding system. But even if I can enter the system, I still need a Sangvis Fairy doll's processor to decipher part of the code to replace the missing compilation equipment. This can shorten my work to 1/20th. I think that's what he's saying there. 1/20th. Honestly, I didn't expect my luck to be so good as to encounter a Sangvis Fairy doll and the module components I wanted at the same time. Why should I do this for a human like you? I can't be sure if you're willing, but I know one thing. Although Sangvis Fairy doll frames are not rare, elite models are 1 in a million and rarely appear on the market. There might only be a few left in the world. For you dolls, the importance of a spare frame goes without saying, right? You are the only active Sangvis Fairy Elite I've seen in these years, arriving at the same time as the thing I've been seeking. Don't you think of this as some kind of fate? Of course not. However, I'm also interested in what's inside this thing. Fine, I agree. Whoa, War Master. Are you coming back with us? You heard it right. I have my own business. Besides, I'm not one of you anyways. I'm the last Sangvis Fairy. I'm only temporarily following the commander because he's amazing, unlike you. Don't be mean to Liushih. You're not the last Sangvis Fairy. We fought aside the other coalition units too. Others sang this ferry. But I don't know where they are right now. Probably hiding somewhere. If you've read the lore file, I'm sorry, Phelan. I've already asked about that. Anyway, I've decided. Then I'll stay here with you. You guy, I was originally... Partners, you are our war master. Suit yourself. If you delay the return time, be careful that Ulrich doesn't plant your head and body separately. If you want to wait, Whistling Cliff Town is on the nearby mountaintop. It can provide good accommodation. The cost might be a bit higher than everywhere else, but there are some power supply facilities and related studios up there, which are very convenient for dolls. Oh, a new town! That sounds pretty good. Let's go play there. Wait for the War Master to finish the matters at hand. Then we'll go back together. Fox Princess. Is that what she calls Full-Yen? That's great. Let's go check on the guilds in town first. We'll come back to accompany the War Master later. That's all we can do. If we can find something suitable as a gift for Master and Basti, it'll all be worth it. But, Liushih, are you okay with this? Won't Fetusha get bored? That guy. Said she has no objections. I'll mark the easy road up to the mountain for you. Come on. Thank you. It's Lagoob, for those that just joined. Also, yes, I am streaming. I've never streamed before in my entire life, but I figured if I'm gonna read Liu's event, I might as well. This seems long. I also wonder if I should throw a post up on Jitter to see if anyone else wants to watch, besides just posting it in Discord and seeing if anyone sees it through YouTube Live.
Mic off. Mic on.
Okay, posting, trying to grab the stream link here, 1 second. Throwing up the post now. Give me just like 1 more minute. Okay, posted now, I'll get back to it. Okay. Alright, it's up now. Okay, I'm back. You may see about 1 billion people now join. I defy you, Heartman. Okay. Alright, here we go.
Mic off. Mic on.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Right there. Alright. General Liu. I understand how you feel, but no matter how much you insist. Ferrari's departure. I'm going to use the commander, even though that's my username. The commander's departure and the dissolution of Griffin and Kruger will not change. Even if you pay such a huge sum, what you maintain will not be the Griffin you hope for. Also, you ask if I would be interested in doing an occasional stream for major events. I don't know how often I'm going to do this, if even again. Because, I don't know, I'm just kind of doing it once off for the use event, but maybe I will do it in the future, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to have to make a lore video eventually. Who knows? Anyways, but just in case the commander changes, also you mentioned height, so, General Liushih is Klukai height. I was kind of hoping she'd be Groza height, but we work with what we got. But just in case the commander changes his mind, I feel he needs a home to return to. At least let me do my part. Please let me cover all of Griffin's operations for the next 30 years, as well as everyone's wages. Alright, honest question. How did Liu even get this much money? I don't know. It's never explained. She's got that oil money. Protecting Griffin has always been the mission the commander gave to me. I want to see it through to the end. I don't think that person will come back. If you want to follow his orders, as far as I know, letting you freely decide your own future is his wish. If you insist on staying at Griffin, I can prepare some positions for you to choose from, but don't mention financial aid anymore. Regrettably, the Griffin you know no longer exists. It's already over. It's so over. Our Griffin, the commander, and my home. Hey, there she is. Liushih! Liushih! Wake up! Something's come up, and it's time for you to make a decision. Huh? Zishui? I don't speak Chinese, so forgive me if my pronunciation is terrible. Zishui? Morning. Did the checkup go well? No problems. The frame and neural cloud... my frame and neural cloud, they're both perfect. That's good. Might be working overtime today. Last night, that vehicle left Powell's territory, and is currently headed towards Whistling Cliff Town. It seems to be carrying a very heavy load. As the chassis is at its weight limit. Yeah, there's like multiple heavy loads in this shot. Also, the driver seems to have terrible skills. They've stalled several times along the way. Is Dushev now still driving? Can we confirm the identity of the car owner? Maybe it's just an ordinary traveling merchant. It might not be that simple. The car is a model commonly used by the conglomerates. Oh, okay, that's probably the Dawn Forge remote college connection. It's very likely providing armed security to that guy, Paweł. Our people also found traces of combat earlier. The possibility that that owner of the car and Paweł are in cahoots is very high. In that case, let's strengthen surveillance first. Also, can I mention just how good the art style is? Liushih? I'm sorry, I don't know the right way to say it. Liushih? and Liu. Both of them look really good, but Liu's art style is almost a perfect adaptation of Earth 8's art style. For those that don't know, Earth 8 is the artist of General Liu in GFL 1. Also the artist of V in Neural Cloud, as well as FO12. Maybe Mr. Powell just wants to do business properly. Although we have some differences, the desire for Whistling Cliff Town to prosper shouldn't conflict. You're just too nice. Have you forgotten what that guy did before? The probability of something fishy going on this time is definitely high. Also, one more thing. ELID presence was detected not long ago on the route that vehicle is taking. Given the vehicle's condition, if they encounter ELID infected, they definitely won't be able to escape. They have 2 artists. I actually don't know how many artists they have. Whoops. At this rate, I don't know how many artists they have working, but like, I know Jimmy does a lot of the concept art and, well, art direction. He's the lead concept art designer, while Daniel, who I presume is still the art director, the art director. I don't know who's doing 2D arts, like live 2Ds, and I don't know the modeling heads. But Jimmy is lead concept art director, and Daniel is lead art director. Anyways, they did amazing on Liu. Like, perfect, almost a perfect adaptation. Anyways, tell everyone to get ready to move out. Whatever that car's intention is, we can't let it be attacked by ELIDs within our patrol range. You really are. I expected it. Everyone's already preparing. You should get into position too. Thank you, Liushih. Goody two-shoes. Although she had learned driving skills in an emergency. Oh, it's Phelan driving. Lagoob is driving. Phelan still struggled with the rugged mountain roads. She could only focus on gripping the steering wheel to prevent the tires from slipping and causing a tragedy. Dushevnaya sat in the back of the seat holding a rifle, comfortably resting her feet on the back of the front seat. Blah. My mistake. I shouldn't have let Dushevnaya drive. Whoops. I shouldn't have let Dushevnaya drive. The brakes of this car are so hard to press. And this car doesn't even seem to be in good condition. I wonder if we can do some load-bearing modifications in Whistling Cliff Town. Oh, did you see that G41 expression just a moment ago? How cute was that? Important lore question. How does Liu's hat smell? I wouldn't know. I wish I knew, though. Fox Princess. We've been out for only half an hour, and you're already about to kill the Hell Chariot? No way. I only flip cars. I don't hit walls. Good enough. Just wanted to ask, do we even have money? The car might need repairs. The funds already prepared. Her buying frames are under the storage compartment of the passenger seat. Helen said to use them if needed, provided we don't squander them. Storage compartment. Oh, I found it. Quite a lot, Phelan, with her tail sticking up and leaning over to grope for the collapse piece, suddenly looked over nervously at the shadow crawling towards her from the top of the cliff. ELID? What? After a sharp turn and quickly pulling the handbrake, Phelan avoided the ELID, but the truck lost control of the rough operation and slid down the cliff. There we go. We get some G41 drifting content. I know you guys seriously wanted this. No, not good. The frame for master. No! Phelan frantically stepped on the gas and yanked the steering wheel according to the game operation she'd played, bringing the car body back onto the road. Oh, she learned to drive from video games. That's remarkably on base. This rough operation soon had consequences. Boom! The truck shook violently, and its speed dropped suddenly. The engine blew. We can't accelerate anymore. We can't shake them off. Not like this. Hero, on the scene. Dushevnaya raised a rifle, leaned halfway out the window, and bet a precise bullet pierced the approaching ELID, making it fall to the ground. Stay away from our Hell Chariot. Meanwhile, just as she was about to shoot the next target, a group of four-legged creatures on the winding mountain road above her caught her attention. There you go, there's Pegasus, there's Juan. At first, she thought it was another group of ELID infected, but upon closer inspection, she realized it was a group composed of riders and mounts. These mounts were a species that blended wilderness with composure, running freely among the steep cliffs. Their posture combined power and speed, touching a deep memory within Dushevnaya that she hadn't even realized herself. This is a horse? No. Although it looks like a horse, it's actually completely made out of machinery. The war horse from the apocalypse. Behold a pale horse, as they say. And those riding on top of it must be the cavalry of the apocalypse. That's a Fallout title right there. This team was not riding ordinary vehicles, but a type of mechanical vehicle shaped like a steed. Even on steep cliffs, they could run smoothly and at high speeds, dodging obstacles with agility. Is something else coming? I'm coming to help you right away. There we go, there's some combat mode G41. Not an enemy. Before Dushevnaya finished speaking, clear gunfire rang out continuously. The knights riding their war horses raised their guns and fired down at the approaching ELIDs. It was effective quickly. The ELIDs were about to catch up to the truck, fell one after another. I'm just imagining the cavalry charge at the end of Helm's Deep. Why is that? It took me way too long for it to come to mind, sorry. Seizing the opportunity, Phelan stopped the car. Using the truck as cover, she and Dushevnaya quickly set up a temporary position, further eliminating the ELIDs trying to get up after falling. In the swirling dust, the fully armed cavalry team walked towards the two of them along the mountain road. I guess there is multiple mecha horses. Maybe Liushih has one of her own too, and I guess, well, there's 4 of them, so there's either 2 more, or maybe each of them is leading a pack. I don't know. Is this a mech specialized for mountain combat environments? Also a vehicle. Sangvis Ferry used to have similar enemies. They were quite troublesome. Amidst the pervasive dust, the two saw the lead knight raising a flag apiece. They did not disarm, but they also abandoned the idea of preemptive firing. Standing at the front of the team, riding the lead horse, was a doll wearing a military cap. And beside her doll, holding an assault rifle with a nimble figure, currently watching Dushevnaya's squad vigilantly. Hey, vehicle over there! We are the winged hussars, in defense cooperation with Whistling Clifftown. They don't want you to know this, the Polish are actually Chinese. They don't want you to know this. Ahead is a restricted area. We'll now commence a routine inspection authorized by the mayor of Whistling Cliff. Once we confirm you pose no threat, we'll safely let you pass freely. However, since we have already sortied and provided you with support and protection earlier, we'll charge a fixed fee. It's okay to relax for a little, Liushih. Looking at the condition of this car, they probably encountered ELIDs on the way and barely managed to break through, right? Let's check if there are any wounded first. Ah, this fierce war horse at night, and the legendary civilized bandits who don't rob directly but only collect tolls. This place truly is a battlefield of the other world. We came here with a great mission. As long as the other side doesn't start trouble, we absolutely cannot destroy the possibility of peace. For some reason, Phelan, who had been focused on aiming, suddenly froze. Those 2 dolls, and the shape of those 2 guns, look so familiar no matter how I look at them. What do we do? I'm pretty sure I'm not seeing things right. Phelan rubbed her eyes vigorously, until the 2 gradually approaching focal points made clearer and clearer in Phelan's visual module. Sure enough, the identity verification matches. Those 2... aren't they General Liu Rifle and Type 56-1? The 2 dolls riding mechanical horses slowly approaching the smoking truck. Also, yes, I did stop speaking for that, just the ellipses of Phelan's silence there. The lead doll, following security protocols, issued a polite inquiry first. Hello, visitors. Welcome to Whistling Clifftown. Do any of you need medical support? I am Liushih, captain of the Winged Hussars. Duty of the Winged Hussars is to escort and rescue everyone passing through Whistling Clifftown. Also, while I haven't read all of her profiles yet, yes, Whistling Clifftown is the, well, town that Liu and I'm guessing Liushih also formed, and it's situated somewhere deep in the Yellow Zone, somewhere out in the canyon, so probably in the Carpathian region again, and like apparently all the stories are set in because of this topography. And yes, Liushih currently serves as the mayor, as far as I know. Please rest assured, we have absolutely no malicious intent and hope to ensure your safety. Please state your identity and purpose of visit. Eh? Before she finished speaking, Liushih saw the animal ears poking out from behind the truck, and that familiar smiling face. Those ears. G41? Isn't that G41? Wow, it's General Liu Rifle and Type 56-1. It's really you guys! Long time no see! Phelan poked her head out and waved excitedly at the two. My name is Phelan now. Although her fame has changed, this is KSVK. Her name's Dushevnaya now. Good heavens, I don't know if that's the opener she'd open with. To think I'd meet past companions here. It seems everyone has a new names after not seeing each other after a good while. Then let me reintroduce us. She is Liushih now, and my name is Liushih. Oh, the hero reunites with former comrades again. Although there were no records of you two in my neural cloud currently, I'll try hard to recall. Let me call you General and Khan for now. Yeah, she would say that. Khan? Is this really KSVK? Could it be that only the face looks alike? I suspected at first too, but after getting used to it, you'll find she really is the original KSVK. What does it matter? 10 years is a long time for humans. Dolls shouldn't remain unchanged either. I didn't expect to run into Phelan and Dushevnaya at a time like this. Why did you come to a remote place like Whistling Clifftown? By the way, since Griffin doll partners are here too, does that mean... Don't say Chungus Khan. Liushih dismounted and moved closer, her gaze sweeping expectantly towards the inner passenger seat. Did the commander not come along? Not seeing that familiar figure, a slight disappointment appeared in Liushih's eyes. Master, Commander is still in the Elmo right now, but the protocol has been terminated. After we complete the current mission, we'll return to the Elmo. What? Really? Could there be any dolls by the commander's side again? This is a dangerous stare. You can even... She's drooling. Or is that a fang? That's wonderful. While the two were talking to Phelan, Dushevnaya curled up in the back seat somewhat dejectedly. Hero, clearly such a mighty cavalry, yet unable to recall the image of riding a dragon to crusade against the Demon King together. This won't do. Recall it quickly. Didn't Basti remember it back then? What's wrong, Dushevnaya? Is she hungry? She doesn't look very energetic. Huh? The hero must not stagnate because of a brief separation. Thank you for your concern, Liushih. Luigi? Dushevnaya, she's Liushih. Sorry. I'm just a little sad, because my neural cloud records are wiped, so whether it's Fox, Princess, Khan, or General, I can't recall our past relationships. A purge? Which bastard did it? Although we haven't talked about what happened during this time, it must have been really difficult for everyone. It's fortunate enough to meet again, but it's really a pity I can't talk about the past with Dushevnaya. Can I help too? Don't worry about the cost of repairing the neural cloud. I'll do my best to help. It's okay. Helen, DP-12 is already repairing it for me. Next, I will gradually recover the memories of being with everyone. It's just that, before the repair, I can't really remember anything about you. Sorry. You don't need to apologize for something like that. Liushih and I both know that Dushevnaya has always been our partner. Exactly. No matter what, you're still the KSVK we know. General Khan? Our paths have finally converged. For the happiness of the commander and everyone, let's run now. Why do you keep using those titles? And don't run around, the danger isn't over yet. Suddenly, a low vibration came from the rear of the vehicle. The dolls looked back in unison. Bang! A loud explosion erupted. Uh-oh, they're playing it. A loud explosion erupted in the distant hillside. Billowing dust surged up like a tsunami. Amidst the sky-filling yellow sand, several twisted dark figures gradually revealed their true shapes, accompanied by tremors. 12 o'clock direction. ELIDs were approaching. Quantity, likely over 5... I knew it. There's so many ELIDs recently. It's almost as if something's driving them here. Liushih, give the order. Liushih quickly exchanged a glance with Liushih. Everyone, get ready. Winged hussars, spread out in defensive formation. Protect the vehicles and goods. Yes! That's the winged hussar? It might be Deer's brother. Liushih, take up the flank and guard against the ELIDs. Climb out from the cliff. Yes, ma'am. Liushih commanded the team skillfully, showing no trace of her usual mild manner. Compared to the memories of the Griffin era, the Liushih in front of me has almost completely become another doll. That's certainly true for those who did not play GFL 1. She has matured seriously and no longer stammers over herself as much. However, like every doll, she's certainly going to fumble before a certain person. I feel like Liushih's changed a lot in these 10 years. Are these knights all followers of Liushih? Phelan has changed a lot too. I really want to drink and chat with everyone right now, talking about the old days. But I still have to ask presumptuously. Phelan, Dushavnaya, can everyone still fight now? Even if monsters attack, the hero gun fire will never retreat. Okay then. Magazines click. Liushih loaded her rifle neatly. Let's resolve this quickly. Alright. If I start losing bitrate here, I'm assuming it's because of gameplay. Actually, I'm gonna do this in auto mode so you guys can really get close looks at the characters, because I know what you freaks want to see. Wait, what? Oh yeah, Pegasus has support attacks, which is what you just saw there, and they are stupidly powerful. I actually got my first Gunsmoke kill with Liushih in the last scene Gunsmoke. Turn off audio here. Oh, whoops. Pegasus, the Neo-Soviet military mountain technical mechs, bionic from horses and developed using Sangvis technology. Oh, that's neat. This is the kind of thing I would put down in my notes as like a little reference. Does Liu still have the same VA as GFL 1? Yes, she does. It's Momo Sakura, which is very nice. She's a great voice actress. Although the firepower isn't outstanding in this environment, they were extremely excellent vehicles and weapons. Also, I want to point out that the Neo-Soviet brass takes another contract, or issues another contract to Sangvis Ferry. Tremendous Svarog military procurement failure again. In other words, that Griffin T-Doll named Liushih relied on such weapons to seal all of your business as a military contractor. So you want your revenge on her? I have no personal grudge against her. In the early days of Whistling Cliff Town's development, she and I cooperated several times. I acknowledge her character and ability. Even if I don't give military orders, Whistling Cliff Town's commercial economy still allows me to make money. Providing military security services for other regions yields even better profits. The only problem is that I don't agree with the way she uses Pegasus. I once proposed to buy them for her, but her financial strength, well, is bottomless. It's never explained where she gets her money from. Oh, whoops. I understand now. You bought this master control system that once belonged to Sanger's Ferry because you wanted to snatch that thing. Can you crack it? Scavenger sat cross-legged on the ground with the data cable connecting to her head to the old module in front of her. Her head unsheathed, her unsheathed blade resting flat on her knees. The countless streams passing before her eyes were information that only Sangvis Ogas mentioned. Sangvis Ferry Ogas system could intercept. And this information was revealing. Okay, sorry, I misread that. This information was revealing an unexpected secret to her. Hey, Fetusa, come out and take a look. We hit the jackpot. Actually, what is all this? Also, as a quick lore reference, as a quickly halt here, the Sangvisuri Ogas system, which is also known as the Ogas Protocol, was specifically designed by Lycoris after extracting and reproducing, or reverse engineering and reproducing the Ogas algorithms present in the Pike node that was sent to Sangvisuri's laboratory, specifically Lycoris' laboratory. By replicating those, he recreated the Ogas system, albeit a tangential SF system for it. Nikshi, what is all this? As he said, it's the production line's master control module. However, this production line seems special. The module is equipped with a primary neural core. It should be for ease of decision making, and that data hasn't been cleared. It must be full of Sanger's Ferry data. If unlocked, maybe I could find out what I want to know. Scavenger glanced at Paweł and nodded slightly. Fine. But while I'm working, if anyone disturbs me, I won't be responsible for the consequences. Understand? Everyone get out. I need a massive external power supply. This little guy consumes a lot of power. The smoke gradually dissipated, and the last ELID stopped twitching under the attack of the mechanical horse. Although it was a temporary encounter battle, under Liushih's command, the victory was very decisive. Heave ho! Job done! How is it, everyone? Is everyone unhurt? After confirming her companion's safety, Liushih neatly holstered her gun. Nice coordination. It seems that even after 10 years, everyone's marksmanship hasn't gotten rusty. Especially Dushevnaya. I didn't expect you to move so agilely. This combat style is very different from when you were at Griffin. Because rifles are no longer the second slowest in the game. They're not affected by mobility debuffs. Wait, what? Liushih and Jishi's fighting styles have also changed a lot. Is this the Winged Hussars fighting style? Over the past 10 years, I've experienced many battles in the Yellow Zone. Thanks to this child, I'm no longer the one who made the commander worry. Liushih patted the I'm slurring words now, forgive me. Liushih patted the mechanical horse's head. The mechanical horse let out a gentle low whine, the red light in its eyes gradually turning into a calm blue. I've been wanting to ask for a while just now. This equipment, your mount, doesn't exist in my records. It just looks like it can be used not only as a vehicle, but it's also equipped with firepower modules to assist in combat. Did you build these mountain-specific combat vehicles yourselves to adapt to the terrain? Their movements suggest they possess corresponding neural clouds, at least on the level of combat dolls, and from the looks of it, this one even shows emotion. They made Juan intelligent, just as they did Truck Senpai. Albeit Truck Senpai seems a bit more devious than Pegasus. Finland's tactical eye is very accurate. I call it Dilu. It is a member of the Winged Hussars. Like the other kids, it's a vehicle modified based on the terrain characteristics of this area, equipped with a simple neural cloud to assist in various tasks. Although it looks very rough out on the outside, it's a partner we rely on heavily. A steed of steel, wings of steel galloping across the wasteland. It can indeed be called a hero's mount. Dushevnaya looked at the majestic mechanical horse with obvious envy in her eyes, then looked at the truck she had ridden in before. Unfortunately, the health chariot has exhausted its life and can no longer deliver the treasure to the promised destination. Treasure? So you came to Whistling Clifftown to do business? No wonder you drove a big truck here. Master and Dushevnaya needed frames, so we drove here to exchange and swap with someone named Paweł. Frames? Paweł? So that's why you're here. Wait, you actually came all the way here for frames? Commander has it tough. So, this Paweł guy does have some military connections and can get a lot of goods. Just don't know what his methods are being used. You know them? We do, but we're not on good terms. The guy is very ambitious and wants to fight for power and profit in Whistling Clifftown. He's always eyeing Dilu and the Old Yellow, but we've no intention of selling. Liushih patted the mechanical warhorse she was riding as she spoke. I'm assuming Old Yellow is the horse that Liushih rides. Also, yeah, potential Hashire Uma Musume collab coming up. Liushih patted the mechanical warhorse she was riding as she spoke. Also, that kid can't stand the fact that Sorry, I gotta speak slower. Also, that kid can't stand the fact that we winged hussars took the commission to protect Whistling Clifftown and the surrounding areas. He's been trying to use money to break the situation, but Liushih's heavy hand has been keeping him suppressed. I really don't know why he's so obsessed with this place. Aside from direct fight, he's used almost every trick in the book. So they are bad guys. Alright, it's decided. The hero will launch an operation to rescue the War Master and Strategist. Mr. Paweł isn't a bad person. His credibility as a merchant is guaranteed, and we've worked together against the Varjägers before. It's just that he's a bit overly obsessed with armed expansion. Has been trying to integrate the surrounding settlements into a more militarized group under his own PMC company. We don't want that. Is this implying there's like a live ongoing warlord struggle in whatever part of the region, whatever Yellow Zone region Liushih is active in? Welcome back 1910s China and or the Three Kingdoms. Anyway, let's not talk about that now. Since Dushevnaya and Phelan are here, what do you want to do you want to visit Whistling Clifftown Market? The market sells a lot of delicious food, and it's quite big too. Otherwise, there would be no need for a winged hussars to handle security. Oh, but we can't leave the frame here. Looking at the dejected Phelan and Dushevnaya, Liushih smiled gently. Then leave both the vehicle repairs and tonight's accommodation to us. With this level of damage, if you leave it to our winged hussars workshop, it'll probably be fixed in a few hours. Is it really okay to accept such a generous gift from an ally? Of course, we are partners fighting for the commander together. Just in time to celebrate this reunion. I want to hold a dinner party for everyone. What are you doing in my tent? Sorry, I was watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Yeah, don't be polite with us. Don't you want to taste my homemade barbecue feast? Although I don't know if I can awaken Dushevnaya's memory of Griffin food, this taste, it's definitely top-notch. I also brought all the unfinished drinks and food from Griffin cafeteria and store them at low temperatures. Is that still good? It's been 10 years. Well, okay, to be fair, Griffin is still around. I don't know when Liushih left. Tasting the flavors of the past is no problem either. Not only helping to fix the car, but also a free meal. Compared to the impersonal Silica Port, Griffin's partners are sure reassuring. It really fits my previous impression of Liushih. Then it's settled. Liushih clapped her hands to the winged hussar members behind her. 3 riders come with Liushih and me to tow the car up. Others withdraw. We're hosting distinguished guests tonight. Oh! With Liushih's command, the mechanical war horses began to gallop, pulling the truck. Dushevnaya laughed in the driver's seat. Forward! Forward! So amazing! Phelan did not marvel at the war horse's performance like Dushevnaya, but rolled down the window and looked up at the defense position gradually emerging in her field of vision. Before my eyes was a high wall cast from precise materials. Not only were orderly searchlights set up on it, but operational radars and mobile firing platforms were also visible. Oh, do they have like... They're really situated. I don't know what sort of airstrikes are waiting for. To defend against ELIDs, it is also equipped with pop-up isolation fences and nozzle spraying napalm. Okay. There you go, everyone. She's another settlement needs her help, and she was that settlement. To be able to build such perfect fortifications in such a harsh environment, is this also the results of Liushih and Juishih's work? While Basti and I were taking kids to smash windows, you guys were amazing too, weren't you? What? I'm guessing that's something Basti's event. This is the result of pooling the strength of the surrounding settlements. Of course, it's all thanks to Liushih's financial resources. The mechanical war horses dragged the truck to the foot of the high wall. The blast-proof gate, covered with heat-resistant concrete, slowly opened and driven by hydraulic devices, welcoming their arrival. Wow, the door opened by itself? Did the Archangel sense the order of a hero open the path of the audience? No, it's an automatic door, sister. You really need a major overhaul. Everyone knew you were visiting and started preparing long ago. It's been like 1 hour. Let me welcome you again, Phelan, Dushevnaya. Partners of Griffin's past, you've come a long way. Please let me, Liushih, be a good host. Welcome to Whistling Cliff Town. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going until either my throat hurts or I reach the end or I just kind of want to do something else, so I'm just gonna keep going. Like, I'm not time limited today, I don't know, stop when I feel like it. Yoo-hoo, FNC. Hey, all Choco fans. What delicious food is there today? FNC, FNC. Oh, right. Oh, she's going too. Can't be helped. I'll just eat it all by myself. Type 56-1 held her tray and sat down in the center of the empty cafeteria. The sound of chewing soon followed. But compared to the past, she seemed monotonous. The deliciousness that once moved her now tasted like chewing wax. The doll tilted her head, pondering the current situation. Everyone has really left. Eating alone, no matter how delicious the food is, it has no flavor. Speaking of which, why am I the only one who needs to eat so much? The fact that I still have an appetite, even though the commander is gone, it's a bit annoying. Should it be like this? But food tastes best when eaten with everyone. I discovered this fact all by myself. Dang. Commander, that fried chicken from back then. I really want you to treat me to it one more time. Ah, General Liu, do you want to eat? Why are you crying? Did you think of the commander? Oh, don't cry, don't cry. Here's some pot stewed meat for you. Type 56. From now on, what are we gonna do? This Helion said the commander won't be coming back. 56, we already have nowhere left to go. I'm guessing this is... It's as if they're telling them the commander's not coming back. I'm guessing this is maybe December 2064 or early 2065, I'm unsure. Is that so? Even General Liu feels lonely. Then, I just thought of this too. Shall we go find the commander? Eh? I still want to cook for the commander. With General Liu here, we won't have to worry about not having enough money for food. If the commander leaves and our home is gone, let's find the commander and build a new home. Is this really okay? what should we do first? Well, I haven't thought about that yet. But I know what needs to be done right now, and that is... eat! Here, eat this. Get more if it's not enough. I have no appetite. I'll eat it myself. Stop stuffing me with beef. I won't eat it. I hope you guys liked the little onomatopoeia accentuation. Also, do you guys hear that music? Anyone recognize that? Good theme. I'll carry on. Yellow Zone, Winged Hussars Camp, night. The bonfire crackled in the night wind, and the aroma of food filled the air. On the table were fragrant barbecue, a tower of cans piled into a small hill, and various drinks. The dolls are feasting. Man, some barbecue sounds really good right now. Yes. There you go, ding ding ding. It's the Oasis map view. When you like do that 3D view of the Oasis, I believe that's what it is. Like we can see like the little like Minecraft icons for the little Minecraft models for all the dolls and agents. On the table were fragrant barbecue, a tower of cans piled into a small hill, and various drinks. The dolls were feasting. Did Chief want to say something? Oh, okay. Is this temptation from the abyss? It's simply a feast enough to make a hero fall. Oh yeah, the PNC soundtrack's fantastic. I love it. I should prepare some for the strategist and War Master too. They'll probably be happy as well. Also PNC. I like a lot of GFL 2's music, but admittedly, I think Neural Cloud's ambiance is much stronger at times. But there is some really good tracks in GFL 2. Don't get me wrong. Everything's truly delicious. Liushih's cooking is good as ever, but such rich ingredients make me wonder if this one's really the Yellow Zone. But sure enough, even here there are no fresh vegetables. The commander would probably want to sell tomatoes here. Hero, investigate the market price. Liushih smiled and raised her glass to Liushih and Phelan. Unfortunately, it's time for New Year's shopping recently. So many supplies were delayed on the road. So, actually, this may be accurate. Like, I know sometimes events dates just sort of exist in limbo, but if Dawnforger really is set in 2075 according to Cheyenne's PV, then it might actually be around February in-game, February 2075. Just a little reference. So tonight's arrangement is a bit simple. Please bear with us. Simple? Liushih looked down at the table full of food. Fox Princess, was she really a doll like us before? Or did Griffin have some money-making secret I forgot? Ugh, you lost the most important part of my memory. No, there's no such secret manual. Liushih has had terrifying luck with money since back then. No matter what she does, she makes a fortune. Master was often given expensive gifts back then. So, I'm just saying. So, what you're saying is they're setting up the casino on the Elmo or Mokosh or Griffin or whatever, and she's first one in the casino. Ring-a-ding-ding, baby. Just that Liushih was still confused back then. Didn't know how to use money at all. But it seems she's still... Even though she's a millionaire, she still works in the Yellow Zone. Liushih hasn't changed a bit. Guys, I might be too poor. Is everyone dissatisfied with my arrangements? Although preparation tasks take some time, there are dehydrated seafood products and things from the white zone in the warehouse. Let's go gambling! No, we didn't mean that. We didn't come all this way just to mooch a meal. I was just lamenting that while Basti and I were playing pranks on Miss Lydia, Liushih actually established an amazing stronghold in the Yellow Zone, and already looks much like a reliable leader. I feel like only a doll like that could go back and report to the master with her head held high. Leader, I only provided support in terms of tactics and funding. The winged hussars were formed by everyone who aspired to protect Whistling Cliff Town. Compared to the things I just heard you say about the commander, my side is really insignificant. After all, that person saved a city. Think of that familiar figure. Liushih's eyes gradually became soft and nostalgic. So I wonder if she knows about what happened in Mokosh, or if they just told her outright there. Because they did mention selling tomatoes. Doll community. Is that the name? So the commander and everyone are gathering in such a place now. Establishing a community of mutual aid relying on facilities in the ruins, while developing agriculture in the community, and using this to unite the surrounding people. Hopeful idea. Just thinking that even in 10 years haven't worn down this fighting spirit, it's really great. Although I haven't had time to meet Master yet, I heard from Dushevnaya that Master has gathered many like-minded partners to change the Yellow Zone. To welcome a bright future, the commander, the leader, and Helen. Everyone's working really hard. So the War Master and I, along with Fox and Strategist, must also work hard to complete the mission. The commander's mission. I really envy you. I haven't had such happiness for 10 years. I need to give her a hug right now for saying that. That's great. The commander is not only safe and sound now, but also has everyone's support again. He really still is the person we loved and swore to follow. She raised her hand and gently wiped the corner of her eye. Aww. Ever since the commander left Griffin, my heart has never felt at ease. After all, that person always likes to shoulder everything alone. This is an incredibly important line for Corposant. No spoilers, but you'll understand. Are you talking about Griffin? Hearing a familiar name, Liushih also came over. You didn't know? When Griffin was reorganizing, Liushih took her entire fortune straight to Helion, saying she wanted to help Griffin get through the crisis. She offered everything she had? As expected of the generous general. Liushih's savings. That must have been quite a large sum, right? I'm not really good with numbers. I just wanted to help everyone as much as I could within my means. She really said, I don't give a fuck about the price tag. I don't need to see them. I don't give a fuck if I go blind. I don't need to see the price tag anyway. She really just said that. Miss Helion said that while she understands my intentions, Griffin was facing structural adjustments that couldn't be solved by simple financial aid. No amount of money would fix the problem. With Commander's departure, the Griffin I knew inevitably came to an end. Indeed. A Griffin without a master. Dolls definitely won't linger there. After gaining freedom, I actually spent a period of time in confusion. Since I couldn't help Griffin, what else could I use my money for? At the time, it was Liushih who encouraged me, saying that if home were no longer where it was, we must find a home where the new home is. That's a good line. Sometimes Miko writes a line, you're like, okay, that's a solid line. Saying that if home is no longer where it was, we must find where the new home is. And then the rich lady and I went out together to find the commander. I heard from an intel dealer who frequents the same shop that an amazing bounty hunter driving a mobile base started operating in the Yellow Zone. As soon as I heard their description, I knew that person must be the commander. Since Liushih had money to burn and I had strength to spare, we decided to come to the Yellow Zone to check it out. One thing led to another and we ended up settling in Whistling Cliff Town. Back then, this place was plagued by ELIDs. We thought the commander wouldn't just sit by and watch, right? At first, Liushih and I just wanted to set up a camp here to establish a place where local residents could exchange supplies, and then continue looking for the commander. What's actually interesting is that in the early pre-release profile information on Liu, they only mentioned that she had actually run a camp, not a full town had set up. So, it comes as a bit of a surprise. However, as the camp was built, more and more people flocked here. To accommodate them, we had to open up new territories, and the crises increased accordingly. Also, the PNC music's a nice touch to all of this. At that time, we thought, although we couldn't contact the commander directly due to the protocol, we could do something that might help him in the future. Like a stronghold that we can provide supplies in a retreat, as well as manpower that can be useful at critical moments. Maybe the commander will need manpower and arms. We wanted to prepare it all for that person. So I invested all my funds into building this place. She loves Shiki-Con so much she built a whole town. You gotta love it. Built a whole Minecraft village for one guy. After all, you guys know Liushih's spending habits. She's really generous. Over the years, with the injection of large amounts of resources, more and more people came here to settle, leading to the current winged hussars. I have a question. So where did the hell did these war horses come from? No what hell war horses. We modified them ourselves. The area around Whistling Clifftown used to be a neo-Soviet military zone. You often see spare parts and such. Once we found several transport trucks buried in the canyon, they seemed to overturn in an accident. Fortunately, the cargo containers weren't completely destroyed. Inside, we found the prototype D-Lu that Liushih rides now, along with enough various spare parts to assemble about 30 mass production models. Oh, okay. That's a good amount. Also, this is like a kind of a random dumb thing to mention. This is a very Fallout situation. It just so happened that we were procuring equipment to set up a simple workshop at the time, so we asked Miss Liushih to spend a fortune buying a large amount of materials to repair them. Is there also a factory? Can we go see it? Oh, of course. How about it, everyone? Is everyone full? Let's go. I'll take you to see the workshop. I don't know if I've ever heard this background music before. I've never heard this background music before. The Dells left the camp and arrived at an open area in the rear. Welding machines, machine tools, and stamping presses, rarely seen in the Yellow Zone, were housed under metal sheds. Various vehicles were parked outside, including modified two-wheelers and four-wheelers equipped with firepower modules. So forgive me just 1 second.
Mic off. Mic on.
Several mechanics are maintaining these vehicles. So they're not only apocalyptic war horses, but also many wheeled mounts. You're even manufacturing weapons. That's how you know there's a good camp. Liushih and I spent a lot of time and money collecting these from all over. We finally managed to piece together a functional production line. If only we can make a wyvern mount. If only we can make wyvern mounts. That'd be even better. Although Dushevnaya's idea is romantic, I think it's a bit impractical. Well, we did try many types of vehicles. We did try many different types of vehicles, but since it's mountainous terrain, most environments require stronger mobility and obstacle crossing ability. So we rely on most, and is also the symbol of the winged hussars. Is still D-Lu and the others. Liushih pointed to the other side of the field, where a group of similar-looking mechanical horses were being tuned up at the starting line. Dushevnaya's eyes lit up instantly. Whoa, it's war horses. I'm surrounded by the war horses of the apocalypse. These are all the new mass-produced models currently available. Although there are no significant differences in appearance, their performance focus is actually different. Some have strong climbing ability, some have strong jumping ability, and can even perform different tasks in actual combat. The D-Lu units are military-grade mechs with high parameters in all aspects. They're also equipped with radar functions that can detect human vital signs, even affected in radiation. They're indispensable best partners. How rich is this? This is not a small town. This is an arms factory. So real quickly, just grabbing a screenshot of this, because this is actually, like, important lore information. Big Sister Liushih. Big Sister Liushih, are you back? Hey guys, it's Klukai and Leva's daughter. I'll let you marinate on that one for a second. Ah, do we have guests? Hearing the noise, a petite girl holding a wrench ran hurriedly from the back, followed by two older winged hussar members. Phelan's ears twitched up because she noticed the girl's figure and speech didn't seem like someone who grew up in the harsh yellow zone. Rather, like the Zoe she knew, she seemed to have run out from a town with at least a quasi-green zone environment. I am a member of the Winged Hussars. My name is Vera. I was preparing to calibrate the components for Dilu and Huang, so I didn't notice. Vera? That's amazing. Learning mechanical modification at such a young age? Who taught you? Faced with Phelan leaning curiously, Vera's face turned redder and redder. I like tinkering with machines. These skills are taught to me by my dad and brother. Your brother? My brother is just like Big Sis Liushih. A gentle, kind person who's always considerate of others. Let me guess, she's the sister of Paweł. See those yellow eyes? But he's no longer here. It was Big Sis Liushih and Big Sis Liushih who took me in. So, I hope I can help Big Sis Liushih. Don't let Vera's age fool you. She's our ace little mechanic here. So cool, so cool! It's amazing that such small hands can repair such big machines. Yes, it's really amazing. I have a friend about your age who's also a very talented child. I really want to introduce you to. Dushevnaya and Phelan couldn't help patting Vera's head, then looked at the two people behind her. You were all dolls who were here with the boss in that place called Griffin in the past, right? Boss talked about you a lot, or talks often about you. He's Luca. I'm Ivana. We're both winged hussars who followed the boss earliest, but currently we do more maintenance work. After all, we can't leave it all to Vera. By the way, Boss Liushih, we're ready. We must win big today. Also, might I add these two together are like stereotypical gacha male protagonist and gacha female protagonist. Character selection screen. Just change her hair to pink. By the way, Boss Liushih, we're ready. We must win big today. Alright, can't wait. Wait, what? Is there something fun? With horses in a field, need you ask? Liushih clapped her hands, and several mechanics immediately selected 3 prepared mechanical horses. This is our Winged Hussars classic event, horse racing. It tests the performance of the mechanical horses and serves as a form of entertainment for our Winged Hussars. So how about it, everyone? Does everyone want to place a bet? Does everyone want to place a bet and play? First come, first served. Since it's a fated duel, I choose this one that the general rode before. This is the hero's intuition. Then I'll choose the left one. Its ears look prettier. Then it's settled. Bets placed, no takebacks. That's a good shot. Yeah, it is the Musume collab there. Ahwing, Dilu, Pegasus, Old Yellow, and some other one. I can't remember one of the horses' names. It's actually Hashire Uma Musume. Attention everyone. Our mechanical horses are equipped with perception systems. Oh wait, is that actually horse racing? As long as we launch a feint attack in its direction, we can activate the sensors and make it run harder. Can we determine the warhorse's forward speed through our cooperation? That's right. Injecting fighting spirit into a mechanical horse is also a very important part. I see. Then let the warhorse seize victory under the hero's guidance. Also, I had a random thought I want to quickly mention before this map starts. If Sexton's is next, and the next major is going to be Groza Altar and maybe Sotmod, I wonder if Folian G41 is going to be free in the same way Harpsy was. Could be neat. I see. Then let the warhorse seize victory under the hero's guidance. Also, might I mention, just actually sitting here and reading the event to you all does a lot more for focus than just reading it blankly on my own. That's all I have to say. Also, there you go. Choose your challenger. Actually, I'm gonna switch this up a bit. Oops. Yeah, we're going all RFs, why not? Also, a little Cheyenne content for everyone. So there you go, ensure Dushev Naya's horse reaches the finishing line. Alright, so that's full map view. That poster up there. I mean, Liushih could be free too. Also, it's not a good look for Cheyenne. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit the far targets. Also, yeah, so Cheyenne's skill function is, the main thing she does is Ego Barrier. What that does, and it's actually modular depending on the type of map, she can swap between like a hunting tent or a bush or a trash bin. And then she uses this and she's mobile until you pull her out. Yeah, she stays in the tent and keeps firing one shot at a time and launching support attacks unless you bring her out of the tent. But if the tent dies, it throws a smoke barrier around her, which allows her to temporarily dodge all attacks when she's retreating. She's really good, actually. I'll just let Nikita take up the front here. I assume I'll want to take out the barriers if we're trying to let Dushev Naya win this. Actually, that may have the opposite effect of what I want here. Maybe I shouldn't have killed the enemies. It just occurs to me that they can slow down targets. I'm gonna keep playing through, but I feel like I may have screwed myself by just killing everything. Actually. Use that as a block of sorts. Yeah, we may be cooked. Yeah, she can stay in the tent or she can move. I'm gonna move her out because I feel like I have to block their movements. And then another horse is coming up, guys. Actually no, I'm gonna cut him off. I guess just stall here. Oh, so they actually do take stability damage. I wonder... Hold up. This may actually make a difference. They take stability damage. Also some Niketa content for you guys. I don't know if that actually did anything, but we'll find out. Didn't actually do any damage. Okay, I'll just stall. This one might take a while because I think I have to cut them off here. Move her there. Oh crap, okay, so you actually can't go around. Okay, guys, we have a problem. There's a GFL 2 map that actually requires thinking. It's over. I don't know if they can hop this half barrier. I was gonna say, because I can block them up front and let Dushev Naya take up the rear, but I don't know if they can hop that fence. Maybe a problem. Actually, if I can hold up. I'm trying to block the front and right sides here. Don't shoot Dorkshev Naya. And then, oh, okay. Well, I guess he can still go around. This was not the mission to bring an RF to everyone. I fumbled. But I can reassign. Wait a minute. Wait, do you guys see that? Is that an Easter egg? Guys, this is a big discovery right here. Alright. Cut them off. Alright. I'm just gonna corner them on all fronts and try and let Dushev Naya like curl her way around. Okay. Yeah, I may have cooked myself by bringing RF, so this run might be may have to redo this because I didn't understand the assignment. Okay. Alright. This is gonna be a one-turn game for a while. Please stay tuned. I can see the movement here, but this is gonna take a minute. Alright, so cut off Liushih. Cut off Phelan. I don't want Phelan to take up the advance though. I'm gonna let both Dushev, Naya, and Pegasus close in from the front. Keep Liu there. Don't know if Cheyenne can do anything here. She's not mobile at all, so that does not help. Because I want to keep Phelan and Liushih trapped here in front of Belka. Because I want... Phelan could come up the front, and so could Dushev Naya, but Liushih has to be trapped there. And that minimally brings up Dushev Naya up one place. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to stall. There we go. No, that's not what you were supposed to do. Well, it wasn't a 3-turn clear, but I'm just trying to clear this. I wanted to keep it open. They are destructible, but none of these dolls carry AoE skills. So my only hope here is to cycle them by doing this. Actually... Dang it, hold up. Hold up. I may be able to trap them by doing this. Oh, Liushih still comes up the rear. Yeah. Should I just restart this? Because I think I lost the moment I killed all the enemies. I think that was the thing I was not supposed to do. I mean, I could actually hold up. If they all circle around Liu, Dushev Naya might have a clear shot. Just gonna try this real quickly. Hold on. Guys, we're so back. A GFL map requires thinking. It has a puzzle in it. I'm sorry to tell you. Wait a minute, it is working. There it is. It's one. As long as they can't hop that barrier, it's one. As long as they can't hop this. I thought that would work, okay. Well, there's nothing I can do. There it is. Okay. I'll come back and get the 3-star later. Congratulations, guys. That was the first probably real puzzle I can remember in GFL 2 for a while. Warhorse of the Apocalypse, charge! Just at the last moment, the Warhorse Dushev Naya chose... Oh, the Warhorse Dushev Naya chose burst with an amazing speed, crossing the finish line first by half a body length. That was also a kind of a fun map. Hell yeah, this is the bond between a hero and her beloved horse. Please take care of me from now on, partner. No, who said it's yours? This is Liushih's mount. You're getting ideas about the boss. Whoa. Turns out not only did I lose, but I lost completely. Huh, it can't be helped. I accept my defeat. But Dushevnaya's observation skills and choosing Dilu were pretty good. I actually wonder what happens if you run that map in auto, if it's the instant lose button. The general's mount must be the strongest. Actually, no. I noticed during the battle just now that Dilu is older than the other horses. Although it's a prototype, its performance shouldn't be as good as the ones as I chose. What is the key to victory? Also, after this current reading, I'm gonna take like a 2-minute break to get like a glass of water. Fallen's observation skills are indeed amazing. Everyone please look. Wait a minute. Isn't this the intelligence room music in GFL 1, like the different facilities of the Griffin base? Wait, no. This is the same song. This is the same song as the PNC Oasis map. Liushih walked up and gently patted Dilu's back. Dilu lowered its head obediently, revealing the identification code on its forehead that had been covered. Pegasus Type 1. Correct. Dilu's designation is Pegasus Type 1, meaning it is the prototype for all mechanical horses, and it can also access and manage their neural clouds. So it knows very well how to compete against other war horses, how to adjust its pace, and when to exert force to catch up. Short distances might be suspenseful, but in long-distance races, Dilu's odds are usually the highest. There's such a nuance? The games I played did have similar sayings. Ugh, I was careless. But was Dilu originally this special? I thought it was just a prototype. Dilu can clearly understand tactical intentions, but when commanding other mechanical war horses, it's even more efficient than us dolls controlling dummies. 30 war horses doesn't even have reached its capability limit. That's impressive. Does that mean the Neo-Soviets were contracting SF before 2062 to build autonomous cavalry charges? However, because the Winged Hussars mechanics are good at hardware modification, I'm actually taking a screenshot of that for the lore potential. However, because the Winged Hussars mechanics are good at hardware modification, but really not good at software, so until now, we've only unlocked parts of Dilu's skills, and a large amount of information exists in unknown areas. You can let Helen and Dandelion take a look. Milling too. Is Miss Dandelion also with the commander? That's really... Let's talk about the Alamo and the commander. Regarding Miss Mei Ling, was she a companion from Griffin before? Mei Ling is the commander's current adjutant. There's also Ulrid and Suomi, and Helen is also the commander's right-hand woman. And people absolutely cannot forget Springfield, and there's some strong Jimmy bias in the statement. Helen is also the commander's right-hand woman. Why didn't the commander get Kalina as adjutant? Wait, who's Ulrid? Was there someone like that before? Why has Helen changed so much? Yeah, I asked that too. What do you mean Voymashtina is in charge of cooking on the Alamo? Who's Voymashtina? Should Voy be in control of cooking? She eats chicken bones. You can make broth out of that. While Dushevnaya, Liushih, and Juishi were talking enthusiastically, Felian cast her gaze towards Vera. Perhaps because she had lived with the human girls for a long time, Phelan had sharpened under her understanding of their emotions other than other dolls. And at this moment, for some reason, a sorrowful atmosphere radiated from Vera. Subconsciously, Phelan walked over. Vera was looking up at Dilu, gently stroking the warhorse's knee. What's wrong, Vera? Ah, Big Sis Phelan. It's nothing. I'm just checking. Actually, I don't really support letting Dilu race. It's bad for its joints. Did you know? Real living horses can live up to 20 to 30 years old. Dilu is older than me. If it were a living horse, it would be an old grandpa. There you go, there's your Uma Musume. Noticing the doll's puzzled look, Vera blushed again. So, sorry, saying these things to a doll is strange, right? That's not it. Vera thinks Dilu is already very old and is very worried about it. Of course, I can understand that. Dolls have the same troubles. Theoretically, as long as we can update our frames, we can keep upgrading and living on. But in fact, we don't know how long our neural clouds can operate. But if Dilu has intelligence, as Liushih said, it must also be able to distinguish what it likes to do from what it doesn't. Also, if you see me doing this randomly, it's just me taking a screenshot of a section of text. Being able to fight alongside everyone in the Winged Hussars, I think you would be happy too. Is that so? Maybe it is so. Looking at Phelan, Vera seemed to smile with relief. She reached out and grasped a pendant on her chest. But in Phelan's eyes, she felt her sadness hadn't diminished, and was even mixed with some negative, unspeakable emotions. What am I thinking? Vera is Liushih and Zuishih's partner. I should prioritize playing for the gift for Master. Liushih, Zuishih, what should I buy for Master? For the Commander? You must let me think. I want a storefront to open a restaurant with a Commander in the White Zone. Give me that. I think Type 56 is starving. She's constantly thinking about food, and yet she's got all of that up front going on, you know what I mean? Will do. How did it turn into giving it to you? So, Sister Zuishih and Sister Liushih can be happy as they are today. Gazing at the other dolls laughing together as Phelan ran over, Vera said with some emotion, Yeah, it'll be troublesome if this goes on. Oh! Hearing the voice behind her, Vera reflexively hunched her shoulders and stepped aside. Oh, sorry. It's been so long, and you still can't remember. Vera hates people getting close to her. Because I also wanted to find a good spot to watch the Commander and others from afar, so I stood too close to Vera. I'm sorry. It's been almost 2 years and I apologize. Everyone here suffered a lot. If not for those 2 bosses taking us in, Luca and I would have been thrown into the mines to work until we died. It's bleak out here. Not just us, but everyone in the Winged Hussars in Whistling Clifftown can be said to have received the boss's grace. Where else would you have to find someone who continuously sends you so much food and medicine to a starving and freezing village, and often risk danger for free to help everyone clear out the remaining ELIDs and bandits? Originally, Whistling Clifftown was a grave chosen by a group of desperate people, but they turned it into a home. Now, if the boss and the others want to leave, we can only wish them well. Leave? All Winged Hussars have this understanding. The bosses will sooner or later return to their beloved commander. After these 2 dolls arrived, I felt that maybe now's the time. But that can't be helped. We can't stand on our own now, right, Vera? Although I'm reluctant, if my sisters will be happy, then that's fine. Seeing her companions mixed with mixed joy and worry, Vera quietly looked away. I get the feeling that Vera was the younger sister of Paweł Salim. She got inducted into Whistling Cliffs. Some bad deal kept her there, and through her, that's how they know. That's how Paweł knows about the mechanical horses. That's my story prediction. Also, I'll let this pause for a second because I know what you guys want to look at. much more? Alright. Alright, there's 9 more nodes. It's actually a pretty decently length event. I'm gonna grab a drink real quickly. Yeah, you're welcome for that. I'm gonna grab a drink real quickly. I'll be back. I'm gonna keep going for a couple more nodes, but like I can feel my throat becoming a bit raspy, but that also may be because I haven't drank water in a while. So I'll be back.
Mic off. Mic on.
You raise an excellent point. I have to disable my loading screen CGs because you might get giga spoiled. Give me just a sec. I'm gonna tweak. I know you guys want to look at it, but this might be too big a spoiler. Let me find the... Am I gonna dox myself by looking at my settings? Actually, I think it's, yeah. I'm gonna turn this off because there are some pretty major spoiler CGs. I keep them on all the time, but I realize I shouldn't play for it. Okay, I'll let this screen. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I'm also gonna grab like a snack.
Mic off. Mic on.
And we're back. Okay. Just gonna real quickly do this. Oh, I haven't bought anything from the store. I'm just gonna do this real quickly. Actually don't know how the weapon skin looks. Oh, that's pretty clean. Admittedly, I like the her oath skin more, but that's pretty clean. I wish they would get rid of the angled foregrip. That's like the only thing. I'm kind of fine with the rail because it's like screwed into the side of the rifle, but I just do not like the foregrip. But besides that, it's a clean look. Ignore the next minute as I do this. There you go. My collapse pieces are not great, but I have a bunch of Doritos, so I'm safe for sextons. Plus, no, I only got 3 tickets, but I got a lot of Doritos. Stop there for now. Alright, back to it.
Mic off. Mic on.
Also, oh, there it is right there. I was talking about, there is some good tracks in GFL 2. This is possibly my favorite story theme in GFL 2. Please give me my some medicine. My brother's dying and I only have one relative left. Grabbing the black merchant's trouser leg, Vera begged desperately. But the other party just looked at her with disgust and easily shook her off her thin arm. Miss, looking at your clothes, you were born in the green zone, or somewhere even wealthier, right? No wonder you don't understand this common sense. Sympathy and pity can be given out freely, as much as you want. But medicine costs money. Or do you, young lady, not even have this much common sense? We have no money left, but I'm willing to do anything. Please let me work for you. Regrettably, at your age, the cost of feeding you is higher than letting you work. You wouldn't even happen to have some kind of tech progeny, would you? Oh, you mentioned this being used in Corposant. This is used in a couple moments in Corposant, and it's masterful in each scene. Especially Chapter 3, right before everything starts to happen. Let's just say that. I'm not going to spoil stuff like that in this stream. Regrettably, at your age, the cost of feeding you is much higher than letting you work. You wouldn't happen to have some kind of tech progeny, would you? I interned at the Institute of Physics and Technology. Although I don't have achievements, I've published papers. I can cook and my mom taught me. How old are you? Are we sure this is not a Helena clone? Sounds like family with a background. No one wants to get involved with a kid with secrets like you. Unless... The black market merchant extended a finger and lifted the pendant around the girl's neck. She shrank back a little, but ultimately didn't resist his action. This is a standard Neo-Soviet information key. How do you have this? It's the last thing Mom and Dad left us. It's my mom's memento. Please don't take it away. I won't rob you, but if you want medicine, give it to me yourself. It's the RNC's world now. Neo-Soviet technology isn't popular. Maybe someone will pay to collect these rare items. Okay. The girl closed her eyes trembling, and reached out her trembling hand towards the pendant. In this moment she felt that her fate had naturally been arranged. Being abandoned, plundered, and struggling until the end, only to die helplessly like a bug. She seemed to accept such an ending. Then, one hand grabbed the black market merchant's wrist, and the other held her hand down that was about to undo the pendant. Wait. Just give her the medicine, boss. I'll pay. I don't trade with dolls. Don't underestimate me. Operating the yellow zone, credibility comes first. If you want to buy something, have your master come. Besides, recent drug price fluctuations, I only sell to old customers. Is this enough? Oh my, I love trading with dolls the most, just because you are so straightforward. He really did a complete 180. Like, the first line, underground broker, I don't trade with dolls. I love trading with dolls. That's the power General Liu has on people. As Martha Meitner once said, relationships dealt in money are often the easiest to begin and hardest to, are hardest to begin and the easiest to lose. Young lady, you're in luck. The black market merchant, tongue twister right there, reluctantly let go of the girl's pendant and shows the collapsed piece right in front of him. The girl blankly hugged the medicine box, watching the two dolls talking in front of her. Liushih, you did this kind of thing again. I'm sorry, Liushih, because this child is so pitiful. I'm not saying helping others is wrong, but you have to get the change. Forget it. Why are you so rich anyways? My friend left it to me. But compared to that, let's look at this child. Is that some lore? Is that some General Liu lore? Are you finally gonna get an answer on why she's so stinking rich? The General doll approached the girl and stroked her hair lightly. The gentle doll approached the girl and stroked her hair lightly, while the straightforward doll stuffed a lot of food into her hands. Before realizing what she was doing, the girl was already sitting on the ground, regardless of her appearance, munching away. She didn't even notice what she was eating, only that it was delicious. The dolls watched her, smiling. It was a smile of pure goodwill, altruism, and innocence. She looked at the dolls with teary eyes, her heart filled with touching words of being unsaved. But in an instant, a thought that shouldn't have existed crossed her mind. Vera, you must remember, everything we have was taken away by dolls. You cannot be deceived by the beautiful appearance of dolls. They possess no soul. All that beauty is just to make it easier to deceive and exploit humans. Dolls are tools themselves, and they view interaction with humans as another tool. They cannot understand emotion itself at all. This voice was like a bucket of ice water, clearing her consciousness instantly and translucent, yet leaving a long-lasting, stinging after effect. Name? What's wrong? You have a sick relative, right? Take the medicine and go back quickly. My name's Vera. Thank you, everyone. Nice to meet you, Miss Vera. I am Liushih. I'm Liushih. Do you need us to escort you back? The girl shook her head vigorously, turned around, and put her back to them. Hearing the names of the two dolls, a strange feeling welled up in her heart. What a melodious, beautiful name. Clearly just tools that were manufactured. Why are they so dazzling and warm? While scolding her ungrateful, gloomy self, she let tears that hadn't fallen when begging the black market merchant slide down her face as she ran forward with large strides. Scavenger realized her limit. Although as a Sanguis fairy doll, using the OGAS protocol allowed her to quickly understand the code in her master control module shipped from Silicaport. The data volume was massive, too massive. Processing such huge data was very strenuous for her without the corresponding support modules. Fortunately, as a big data expert, Fetusa used her own neurocloud computing power to help share a large part of the pressure. But because of this, she had to stay connected to a power source and maintain a state where two neuroclouds were in overloading in parallel to carry out the decryption. This seems like a neurocloud meltdown waiting to happen. While Liushih, Naya, and Phelan were celebrating with their Griffin companions, Scavenger's frame continued working, despite critically overheating several times. However, she felt immense joy. Obtained a large... No, that's just written wrong. Obtained a large amount of codes and algorithms related to Sangvis Ferry and the Master Control Module. Just understanding them brings satisfaction. Ah, as expected of Sangvis Ferry technology. The best in the world. Got it. This guy's neurocloud over here can be activated. Fetusa. I know. I'll open the firewall to block the redundant information. Don't be careless. No need to worry. This thing is in the production mechanism using Sangvis Ferry technology. Its neurocloud should only have basic functionality. Loneliness. Huh? Unable to detect mastermind. No command time. 89,212 hours. Hold up as I quickly do the math on the number of days that is. This might actually be relevant. That is 3,717 days divided by 365 is 10 years and 10.18 years. There you go. It is probably January, February. There you go. A little bit of lore there. Albeit this is talking about the Mastermind's disappearance, which would have been September... early September 2064 during polarized light, so it's not exact, but it's close enough. Has this unit been abandoned? This guy, although incomplete, it possesses the ability to think. Hey, accept my command. Command verification failed. No guidance authority. Acceptable permissions. 1. Production list access. 2. Production mechanism tally. 3. Material order list. Only the lowest permissions, huh? As expected. This kid isn't a complete Sangvis Ferry module. Or is your status just too low, Liushih? Do you wanna die? Wait, someone's coming. As footsteps approached, Scavenger saw Paweł walk in with numerous combat weapons and armed personnel. You came quickly. However, I'm afraid your efforts will be in vain. This module requires high-level military authorization to use. Does your key just happen to match? You did well, Miss Scavenger. Frame's yours. Paweł snapped his fingers, and two people placed the box containing the Sangvis Ferry ELID frame in front of Scavenger. Why don't you go play with your doll friends? Suddenly, Scavenger suddenly sprang from her spot, stepping onto the ceiling before the human eye could react. The doll brandished her blade, whipping up two curtains of light to slash the blocking combat mechs, and stood before Paweł. However, the guards protecting Paweł opened full fire. Just as Scavenger was about to sweep them away, a notification message appeared before their eyes. Her eye stagnated, and she retreated, gradually being forced into a dead end. You guy, you never intended to do business from this properly from the start, didn't you? It's you who didn't want to finish what we started, right? Fortunately, I'm very familiar with Sangvis Ferry dolls. The decryption method you just now consumed a massive amount of your power. You have at most 11% now, right? Oh? No wonder your electricity meter felt particularly weak. You're deliberately controlling my power level. I told you, I'm very familiar with Sangvis Ferry dolls. This guy, we gotta do a check on how many Sangvis oath rings he has. Because of all these years I've been researching, reviewing, and also pondering one thing. Why couldn't you defeat Griffin back then? Oh? None of your business. Scavenger tried to retreat into the corridor, but the path there had already been blocked. She moved around, looking for an opportunity to deliver a fatal blow against Paweł, but the young merchant, guarded by numerous escorts, merely reminisced with her in a nostalgic tone. The surrounding doors have all been locked down. If I die here, you can't get out either. Surrender, Miss Scavenger. Don't worry, my opinion aligns with your master, King Tomato. The people of the Yellow Zone today are increasingly seeking order, security, and development, and only those with military capabilities can provide all of this. I hope to join the King Tomato's cause and invest in that person's outstanding battlefield talents, currency forged in iron and fire, and your actions just now are helping me obtain that currency. I won't damage your frame or your neural cloud. I just want you to stay out of my way while I work. What work? Is it still about those horses you bragged about that aren't even on your list? Hearing Scavenger's words, the corner of Powell's mouth twitched. That's not bragging. Pegasus. It's a combat model developed by Dr. Smolin. Yep. It has undergone 3 field tests with good results. Whether cooperating with humans or dolls, it wouldn't even be outdated today. Except for lacking a sufficiently glorious war to validate his theories, Dr. Smolin achieved everything. Although I don't know the actual performance of the thing you mentioned, even if there were 2 more effective weapons at the time, it wouldn't have had the slightest impact on the course of the war. Do these Pegasus models go back to World War III? Huh. True, but it has an impact on me. If I can prove that Pegasus is a reliable weapon, that the series of R&D surrounding it was real and meaningful, then the URNC will retry. Retry what? Regrettably, I can't reveal more here, unless you are willing to surrender and save me more effort. Before Powell could finish, Scavenger's blade flew over, piercing the wrist of the mech that blocked in front of him just in time, almost piercing his eye as well. Chilled, Powell sweated a drop of cold sweat. Scavenger seized a shield from an Aegis guard and rushed out into the studio. After breaking through the interception of multiple combat robots, Scavenger lost her remaining power. She leaned futilely against the unopened gate, watching Powell walk towards her. When you start up again, be sure to put in a good word for me with King Tomato. The frame shuts down, and Scavenger's neural cloud sank into darkness. At the very last moment, she thought indignantly, "You got it all right. How annoying." "No, you got it all wrong, right, Liushih? As expected. Apart from the commander and human cubs, many humans aren't that kind. Communication with the outside world is also blocked. It seems Mr. Powell put a lot into this preparation. It's going to take some time." Powell looked at the Sangus furry doll looking on the ground, and the massive wreckage of combat mechanics she dismantled single-handedly and sighed. If she had sufficient energy, maybe she could have finally broken out. Not destroying the Sangus furry doll, and not letting her destroy herself, will leave room for cooperation with Commander and King Tomato in the future. Although Powell doesn't know the other party's specific situation, he is very likely the commander with the highest bounty recently who caused the Lviv incident. Unless absolutely necessary, Powell doesn't want to be enemies with such a potential and threatening target. Lock her up. We have to transfer the captive intact when negotiating with their master. Saying this, Powell took out a key from under his collar and inserted it into the master control module unlocked by Scavenger earlier. In the battle just now, Scavenger could have destroyed it. Perhaps just due to the mutual appreciation of being Sangus Fairy products. She didn't. For this, Powell was very grateful of her. Command. Validation successful. Administration permission authenticated. Confirming external hardware information. The pleasant electronic sound ignited his blood. Powell realized his fingertips were trembling. The time to decide everything had come. He silently entered the command, and the master control module murmured protests of old hardware, lacking run-in with the rhythmic mechanical sound unique to ancient computers. That is some phenomenal visualization there. That's like some virtual pair visualization. But the key finally presented the mechanical horse named Pegasus in its sleek form, and listed all the commands that could be taken based on its neural cloud and functions. You were right, old man. As if he had practiced for a lifetime, Powell quickly entered the prepared commands, watching the master control module announced executing. Then he turned on the communicator. Hello? So soon? Yep, there it is. Okay, I got it. Don't worry, of course I'm ready. It's finally this day. Brother? Crawling out of her bed, Vera put on her coat as quietly as possible, picked up the prepared backpack, and walked towards the area where Pegasus was parked. The war horses stood quietly. She walked to Dilu, stood on tiptoe, and laboriously inserted the key into the back of its head. The warhorse turned confusedly to Vera, who usually maintained it. Red and blue lights flashed alternately in its eyes, finally fixing upon a conspicuous red. Dilu's final struggle pained Vera. It shook its head desperately as if sick, trying to shake something off. But in the end, it drooped its head weakly, letting the twitching and trembling slowly cease. I'm sorry, but I can't let the important you fall into the hands of the dolls. Vera opened her arms and hugged Dilu's head, as if soothing the mechanical horse. Okay, done. Next, just climb up. She went to Dilu's saddle and reached out to climb up. Liushih wasn't a tall doll, so this couldn't have been difficult. But riding on Dilu, she and Jishi always looked so reliable, so tall. Vera subconsciously looked in the direction of the barracks, but met a pair of intertwined blue and red eyes, scaring her so much that her legs went weak instantly. You almost made me laugh mid-sentence as I was trying to be serious as you said glue factory. Vera? It's me. Thought someone was sneaking in. Sorry? Does Vera have anything to apologize for? I was just worried about Dilu's condition, so I came out to maintain this child. Did I wake up you just now, Big Sis Phelan? Wake me up? No. I don't sleep because I never know when enemies might show up. That's sad if you've read her story. But did something happen to Dilu? Watching Phelan bypass her and walk towards Dilu, Vera was convinced that apart from the opportunity before her, there would be no other chance. If she rode Dilu away, the doll would definitely catch up and bring her back, or even shoot her directly. A sudden strangeness froze Phelan's steps. She turned and hugged Vera, jumping quickly to avoid a terrifyingly powerful rear kick from Dilu. Missing its strike, the warhorse galloped towards the gates, leaped vigorously, alternately stepped on the roofs of the camp, and flipped directly over the wall. So they can hop over these gates, but not the half barriers. However, even the movements as swift as thunder, Phelan grabbed the mechanical warhorse's reins even faster. Like a rider taming a Pegasus, she followed it over the wall, followed by a loud crash from behind the wall. Vera, weak in the knees, sat on the ground in terror. But by this time, others had naturally awakened and rushed out. Vera, are you okay? The dolls rushed to Vera immediately and picked her up. Vera gazed in the eyes, flickering with anxiety and concern, subconsciously biting her lip until she tasted the rusty flavor of blood. That's also really good visualization. Another great thing I think of, well, I'd say this is more consistent with Deep Oblivion onwards, is visualization. It's something that was done remarkably well in GFL 1, kind of hit and miss in early GFL 2, and then is really incredible in Corpusant. And it's present here too. Dilu suddenly went crazy and rushed out. Big Sis Phelan, go chase it! Whoa, what's happening? Is the warhorse hometown attacking? Liushih, don't let Vera stay out in the open. Come here quickly. Wake everyone up. Emergency! On the mountain road that should have been quiet and peaceful at night, the hoofbeats of steel warhorses tore through everything. The petite beast-eared doll hung over the horse's back, trying her best to stop the behemoth weighing over a ton. Whoa, Dilu, what's wrong with you? Slow down! Is an electronic warfare intrusion? Phelan gripped the reins tightly, trying to slow the warhorse down, but it was absolutely futile. Just keeping her body from sliding off the mechanical warhorse took all of her strength. But when Dilu jumped straight off the roadside, Phelan reflexively let go of the reins and jumped in the opposite direction, then watched helplessly as Dilu leapt into the abyss. Fire wings erupted from the mechanical... What? Oh! Fire wings erupted. Fire wings erupted from the mechanical warhorse's sides, like a dragon horse from mythology. It stopped its fall mid-air, glided down into the valley, and disappeared from Phelan's sight. What kind of tech do Sangva's got in these things? Jump pack? Oh, they're deploying the horses on Cyberstan. So that's the trick too. Liushih really got herself exaggerated pet. If Basti knew, she'd definitely try and catch an even bigger one. End up riding a demon dog on the Elmo. But what's going on? There we go.
Mic off. Mic on.
Okay, I'm back. Give me just like 1 minute, I'm gonna take a sip of water and finish my snack before I move on. I don't know if I'm gonna read all the event, but I think I'll at least read like 1 or 2 notes more. I mean, there's really good progress. I'm completely open tomorrow, so heck, maybe I'll do this again tomorrow. But I'm gonna keep going in just a minute here.
Mic off. Mic on.
Okay. In the interest of not damaging my throat, I may only go 1 or 2 more notes here. Because I'm also probably going to do this tomorrow as well. Hello? Is the audio good? Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, you guys can. Yeah. I'm gonna do 1 or 2 more nodes and probably call it because I can feel my throat getting a bit raspy and gives me something to do tomorrow anyways. I'm also stumbling over certain words, so that's a sign to take a break. Anyways, okay, back to it. I'm honored to meet you, Miss Liushih. I'm Paweł Smolin, one of the merchants who has benefited from the protection of Whistling Cliff Town by you and your partners. I came here to visit today for no other reason than the needs of our military contractor business. I'd like to purchase that group of mechanical war horses from you. I'm sorry, Mr. Powell. As a partner in building Whistling Cliff Town, I really want to fulfill your wish, but Dilu, those mechanical war horses, are already like family to the winged hussars. Emotional talking about feelings really makes me really a human laugh. Hey, are you done talking yet? If you're done, please leave. At least you should be able to calculate what a wasteful thing you've done, right? Those are supposed to be weapons out and active on the battlefield, but instead, they're used as delivery motorcycles and rescue dogs. It's not only a waste of technology, but for the people who originally built it, it could even be called a blasphemy. Do you have any self-awareness of this? In a way, perhaps you're right, Mr. Powell. But even those trivial things like you look down upon need someone to do them. With Dilu's help, the winged hussars can reach the scene fastest, and flexibly complete various rescue missions according to the situation. In mountainous terrain, there are no transport mechs more efficient and stable than Dilu and others, so please forgive me. I cannot meet your request. Then how about this? I can provide armed helicopters. Provide armed helicopters for the winged hussars in exchange for the temporary release of one of the prototypes. What do you think? Although we're dolls, we will not exchange our family. Miss Liushih, since you are a doll, you should at least be sensitive to numbers, right? I'm sorry, my math is not really good. So this number... Is this a number? I can't. You should go back. Neither Liushih nor I will sell Dilu and the others. It's not about money. We don't have funding problems right now, and we won't in the future. Pegasus. What'd you say? I said those war horses are called Pegasus. Is that so? I understand. Next time we'll come visit with more funds prepared. You're good at negotiating, Miss Liushih. Farewell. Good at negotiating? Me? Regrettably, I seem to have only made Mr. Powell angrier. He just refuses to admit defeat, right? Don't take it to heart. Driving an all-terrain vehicle assembled from the winged hussars camp, Dushevnaya and Liushih caught up with Phelan at dawn. The latter had managed to climb down the cliff, scanning for the clues left by Dilu. Fox Princess, I can't contact War Master and Strategist anymore. I don't know if communications are blocked or what happened. Could it be that Mr. Powell really has a problem? Dushevnaya, Liushih, I've marked the traces left by Dilu along the way. Thank you so much, Phelan. This route, indeed, leads to the area of activity of Mr. Powell's forces. I just hope it's a coincidence. Following the guidance of Pegasus' footsteps, Liushih's squad turns into an inconspicuous fork in the road. Soon after, the dolls discover a small stronghold in the mountain road. Is this the Demon King's fortress? Something seems to be moving at the entrance. Let me see. Phelan raised her binoculars and focused her gaze on the wriggling silhouette in the shadows. There are many patrols stationed at the front of the stronghold, including prowlers and diner gates. They all seem to be Sanguis ferry machines, similar to the models Mr. Powell has prepared before. In Basti's words, his suspicion levels have skyrocketed. Since Mr. Powell can get away with so many combat mechs, why is he so obsessed with Dilu? And how did he manage to control Dilu remotely? Fox Princess, could it be that the server we brought and War Master who did it? I was thinking the same thing just now. Everything's too coincidental. The probability of no connection is actually slower. Liushih, well, the Powell has already many combat weapons. Those are all products that can be bought on the market. Dilu and the other weapons that don't even exist in Griffin's database. Dilu isn't even a prototype. Its value is really high, very high. Mr. Powell was willing to pay the price of dozens of military frames for that server, showing he definitely stands to gain. Stands to gain. At that time, Mr. Powell always promised to the highest bidder, but I don't think he wanted Dilu for profit purposes. Just catch him, make him hand over War Master and Strategist, and force out the truth. By the way, are the War Master and Strategist that Dushevnaya keeps talking about also former Griffin companions? They're Singvis fairy dolls found by the Commander, or Master Commander. They hadn't activated during the Griffin era. There are 2 neural clouds residing in the body, but neither of them is a bad person. Singvis fairy. Indeed, Dilu's design has made many Singvis fairy components. Come to think of it, why did we find Dilu in Whistling Cliff Town? Just as Liushih was deep in thought, Phelan suddenly raised her head, signaling the 2 dolls to get down with her. Metal signatures were scanned ahead, exactly the proximity mines the dolls were familiar with. Then, Phelan quickly marked the positions of the turrets and surveillance cameras for Dushevnaya and Liushih one by one. It takes some time to go around. Ah, Fox Princess. General, watch out for the shadows wriggling in the darkness. Prompted by Dushevnaya, the other dolls are also locked on the patrolling scouts and diner gates. The defense is very tight, classified as heavy level. And by looking at the defense layout, there is both heavy firepower in the ground, and roaming raid units. Such rigorous defense logic means Mr. Powell's military literacy is definitely not poor. It seems that the hero's guess was correct. The Demon King and the bandits are indeed birds of a feather. Liushih nodded, affirming Dushevnaya's guess. Anyway, let's sync the coordinates to Liushih and everyone in the winged hussars first, That seems to be signal blocked. Just as Liushih was operating the terminal, several black gun barrels extended from above the stronghold, aiming at the top of Liushih's head. Muzzles aimed at Liushih's direction, spewing crimson tongues of fire. General, watch out! Liushih was startled and looked unexpectedly at Dushevnaya, who pulled her away. The latter was unhurriedly unslinging her weapon from her back, looking like she was long used to dealing with such scenes. Liushih, are you hurt? I'm fine. Everyone stay safe. Prepare to counterattack. I'm just gonna temporarily mute my mic here for a minute.
Mic off.
ここは任せてください。大丈夫。了解。命中。これでいいですか？今です。これでいいですか？
Mic on.
All right, there you go. There's a little close-up Leo action. Yeah, just use the ult. Why not? Is bro good? They forgot the Elmo is still there. It's just hanging out. I also said it earlier, but just mention it again. Even if you're not playing on heroic mode, I think event maps should be allowed to scale up to level 60 if you want. Just saying. Is bro good?
Mic off. Mic on.
Okay, I'm good. After a range of exchanged fire, Liushih squad successfully destroyed all mechanical units in the front row. However, more and more firepower emerged from above the stronghold. The dense bullets forced the dolls to retreat repeatedly behind cover. Whoa! Why are there so many of these guys? The main thing is, we don't know the situation inside. If we force our way through, we might run straight into a trap. Although the hero is fearless, changing tactics means mana runs out and also a cure pot. Changing tactics before mana runs out is also part of the strategy. General, you must make a decision quickly. It's okay. The reconnaissance objective for this time has been completed anyway. During the firefight just now, I noticed that the reinforcement units all came running out from the rear right direction. It seems the enemy's defense is the tightest in this area. The general meant here, right? Liushih made a mark on the terminal. This is probably the location of the warehouse. Even though they really want to take it back now. With the firepower of the three of us, a frontal breakthrough seems a bit dangerous. I need to devise some tactics. Just as Liushih, Phalion, and Liushih infiltrated Pavel's stronghold, a convoy was advancing on the mountain road leading to the winged hussars camp. Leading the way into Paweł, followed by his subordinates and self-propelled vehicles carrying heavy firepower such as mortars. Paweł's subordinates now show up saying, "I did not expect your tactical level to be so high, boss. I also studied Tomato King's war report in Wokosh." Hiding the true power behind those scenes, luring the enemy to pounce and then striking hard at their exposed vitals. Very effective tactic. But in this case, our base, won't it be destroyed? With the power of Liushih and those few dolls, they probably can't be trapped, right? But enough to distract them for 23 hours. Then that is enough. As for the stronghold, you don't need to worry. We'll soon have a bigger stronghold, more weapons, and a more luxurious stage. It's great following you like boss. Following a boss like you, as expected of a young master from the White Zone. An intellectual. I heard you with the backing of conglomerate lords. I'm starting to stumble over my words, so you guys can probably notice that I've been doing this for like 3 hours now, so yeah. I wonder why you're hanging out with people like this in the Yellow Zone. Since you know I have a backing, aren't you speaking a bit too presumptuously? No, sorry. However, these dolls in the winged hussars aren't to be trifled with. Can we really take down the camp in such a short time? Although we have an advantage in numbers and equipment, that fortress-like camp won't be easy to take. You should read more books. History, defenses claim to be impregnable, collapsing from within are commonplace. Do your jobs well and wait to witness a brand new page in history of Whistling Cliff Town. While Liushih, Phalion, and Liushih tried to infiltrate the stronghold, the winged hussars also prepared for battle. For safety reasons, Liushih shut down all warhorses to prevent the control dealer from affecting the other warhorses. Fortunately, the workshop had also built a variety of vehicles and weapons. Coupled with rigorous daily training, the winged hussars were confident in combating any enemy. Why can't I contact Liushih? Is it Paweł's doing again? That guy's been making shady moves all this time, and he finally succeeded this time. Boss Liushih, let's attack directly. We haven't had a chance to use the heavy firepower recently, so let's let off a big enough firework this time. Nope, Liushih told us not to act rashly. Our greatest responsibility is to guard our camp while Liushih and the others are on their mission. Currently, only Dilu is lost. It won't affect our overall combat power. Everyone, get ready. Just as Liushih was giving instructions to the others, a signal also came from the outpost. It seemed a unit had bypassed the defenses and intruded into the Winged Hussars' defensive range. The highest crisis siren blared. The Winged Hussars immediately jumped from their positions and rushed to the posts they usually practice defending. Engage! Arm yourselves, everyone. A feeling of unease spread rapidly in Liushih's neural cloud. Liushih, Phelan, Dushevnaya were all far away at this moment. It almost looked like they'd all been deliberately lured away by a stratagem. Compared to herself being attacked, Liushih was already worried about Liushih. She feared that while she was being pinned down, she wouldn't be able to provide effective support to her partner. Of course, there were definitely more than one thing Liushih was worried about. The Winged Hussars could not be careless about foul. Drones, radar, and various detection equipment were all purchased by Liushih at great cost and maintained to Griffin standards. Logically speaking, they should have discovered this intrusion long ago. Commander, what should I do at a time like this? What should be done at a time like this? Liushih felt an indescribable chill creeping up from the depths of her mind. She didn't want to think about it, though. She didn't want to ponder. But as her duty as Liushih's assistant and camp guardian didn't allow her to evade this thought. Someone orchestrated all of this from the inside. So, I think I'm actually going to call it there, right before this battle kicks off here, and save the second half of the event for tomorrow. I can feel my throat getting raspy, and I was stumbling over a lot of words during that last node. That's a sign. Like the Mountain You Meet test. Yeah, it is. I can't remember the name of that mission, but I know exactly which one you're talking about. The second half of Chapter 3. It's an upward climb battle. Yeah, and you fight, I think it's Oleg at the top, his squad. Does anyone want to see anything from CN? Because I'm going to stop here for the time being. But does anyone want to see anything character-wise or art-wise? Anything of the sort? Yeah, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more nodes, and we did 1, 2. Yeah, 7. Okay, so we did exactly half the nodes today. Save the second part for tomorrow. This is actually seems like a pretty decently long event, albeit I'm reading each and every line, so that does extend it. But it does seem pretty extensive. I mean, yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, it's not the most story relevant or lore relevant, at least in the first half, but it is interesting in that regard. M4 art in CN. Brother, I have bad news. There is no M4 art in CN. But yeah, generally I mean, it's a neat little action event. I like the visualization. It's good to see Liu again. Now, albeit, I don't have much to say because I don't think it's an amazing event either, but I don't think it's bad so far. I'm enjoying it. It's certainly one of the better ones. I honestly think Dushevnaya and Full Yin G41 have some of the best lines in there. That said, it's good to see the wife again, as it should. But if anyone wants to see anything else, I'm probably going to end this soon, so if anyone wants to see anything from CN, yeah, we'll do the second half tomorrow, and we'll pick up what will happen in the battle. What awaits us in the Battle of Whistling Cliff Town? I don't know, I'm hyping this up like next time on Dragon Ball Z, but next time on Girls Frontline 2. Will Whistling Cliff Town burn, or will the stronghold of the Solman Doctors find its place in the world? And what of Vera? All of this has been a conspiracy of the inside. I'm not very good at doing this improv. I do like the music, it's pretty good. Albeit it's definitely not my favorite, but it's pretty decent. Any teases, characters coming up, or is it just Type 56? So, well, you probably saw it in the actual story there. Liushih, Type 56 is, I don't know, sometime in the future, but we do know the next few characters. The next character coming soon, like, on the 24th, at least CN time, so in 10 days, okay. Oh yeah, there's plenty of time in this event. In 10 days is Sextons, she's coming in full Bloodborne fit. And then after Sextons, it's heavily implied is a major story event, a new major. And one of the confirmed dolls is Groza Alter / Groza Black. Refer to my CN News channel for more information. But yeah, the upcoming doll list is Sextons, Groza Alter, Sop has been mentioned to be coming in the future. I don't know if that means the next major, but she's mentioned to be coming soon. Who else? Folian, which is G41. She was introduced in Basti's event, but she isn't playable yet. Liushih was introduced here in Liu's event. And I think that's everyone. Soon TM HOCs. Yes, HOCs are still soon TM. I'm guessing maybe the next major, depending on what happens. But thank you for listening. I mean, this turned into a reading stream. I'm not the greatest narrator, and I don't exactly have the greatest narration voice, and I certainly can't voice act 10 plus female characters, but I do my best. I try. And it's good to see the love back, of course. But alright, goodbye everyone. It's been fun. I mean, I'm going to pick this up tomorrow, probably around the same time this started, so I don't know, 20 hours from now or something? I'll see. Oh, Baka Sakura. I'll show you some Baka Sakura. We'll end with Baka Sakura. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening. I'll pick up part 2 pretty much around the same time. Where's Sakura? I thought I have... Oh, there she is. Yeah, I don't really have Sakura leveled on CN. Here we go. We'll end with Sakura. Alright. Goodbye and good